What's happening, everybody? It's Tuesday. It's RC Tech Talk Tuesday. Boom! I got a special guest today. I'm going to bring him in right now. What's up, Keith West? Yep. Oh, there you go. I had you on mute. What's up, Mr. West?
Man, I just got home from work and about to start loading my trailer for the Padre Island trip.
That's what I'm doing, man. I'm getting ready for this this journey. This is going to be a journey like no other. So listen, here's the deal. RC Tech Talk Tuesday starts at 3. Me and Keith West, and there's actually a whole bunch of us, have been working, talking, and mixing it up to talk about a point series. And it has gone viral. It is crazy, and how many people are just chiming in, their thoughts. I'm in it. I love it. I love the fact that this many people want to talk about it. Right, Keith?
Absolutely. It's, me coming from the pro drag race world, of course, the series is always in my wheelhouse. And with Jeg sponsoring me and the tech tent at these races already, and I'm running a Jeg's car and I'm tied in with him. I consider myself family. I'm great friends with Jeg Coughlin. So it was a no-brainer for me to start pushing this. And I still have a lot of meetings and talk with them about this, but I know they're in to do something. And this is going to be an awesome opportunity to have a company like Jay's to push a championship series. And as far as I know, there is no other organization out there doing what we're talking about doing coast to coast.
No.
And coming back together at the end of the year for a great big championship pot. You know what I mean? And it's just super fun, and it gives our sport some structure. And we that's why we're opening these discussions up, Billy, is to get input from racers, get input from show promoters and race promoters, and make the best of it instead of having a BS handbook to go by, and every racetrack you go to is different, and nobody left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. We want to know and schedule our lives around going to these championship races. I'm not telling you to not go to all the other races that's out there this year. There's going to be plenty of time. I don't have time physically to go to that many. So I want to dedicate myself to this series. And if I'm able to go to some of these other ones that's closer to home, then I will. But we want to incorporate these big shows that are already happening and get those guys to be a part of it, But everybody has to get on the same page.
But here's the deal. So everybody that's joining us, and there's a lot of people, man. I'm telling you, my messages have went crazy since I said this today. This is an open discussion, guys. This is not I've agreed never to cuss again on this show. This is not a This is not a crap show. So if you're gonna hop in these conversations and start crap, I'm gonna boot you out. This is just an open conversation. Nothing is. This is something that Keith has talked about. Foster, Sean, Bridgewater, Greg. Everybody knows Greg. I always say Bridgewater. You guys have been talking about this, and you've talked to me about it. You had an open discussion over on your live the other day, and it intrigued me. I was watching. You had a lot of people that were talking about it and wanted to get involved in it. It looked like a pretty good discussion, and that's why I wanted to open it up today, and so that's what we're doing. I'm telling you, Keith, I have had so many messages on how many people want to participate, how many people have said, we want this region, we'll take this region, this, you know what I mean? So far, it's starting to come together, but we're going to also run across a lot of people that are going to be against it. But again, this is just an open discussion until I bring. This is not going to take very long, Keith. We're going to do is, much as we can, as quick as we can. I'm going to give us about an hour, okay? Because I do have another show that's going on this afternoon.
Sure.
So let's do this. Let's get busy. Let me look through the. Go ahead, Keith. I'm gonna thumb through so you don't have to look at all the messages. Let me
Yeah, I'm scrolling. I've got my iPad open here. I'm kind of looking
Okay.
down through there too.
Yeah, you've got a lot of people watching right now, man, and a lot of
Oh
people that are
yes.
just wanting to know, what's going on. Where
Here,
did this all come
here's
from?
some notes that I have I penciled down today just so we could kind of cover them. One of the first things we're going to have to do is of course establish some regions. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to do 4 regions? Are we going to do 3 regions? How are we going to do this? And inside those regions, I'm going to have a director. Whether like Foster's already committed, he wants in. He wants to be the East Coast guy. So Foster would be my director for the Eastern races. Um, we're going to have guys like that that's willing to. I can't run out to Tennessee every week and
No.
get the race ready. So we're going to have people that's already there and get everything ready. And I'll be on the phone and make contacts. I want to hold these races at actual drag strips because that eliminates a lot of problems, just like what Foster had at Knoxville the other day. And I talked about this on my live feed. Um, his guy with the Porta Johns didn't show up, so there was no
Mm-hmm.
bathrooms there
Right.
all day. And that's, if you have the race at a drag strip, the facility is already there. They have concession stands, they have bathrooms, they have plenty of room to pit. And if we're going to do a 2-day event, like a Friday night and an all day Saturday event, you can leave your pit set up overnight. I mean, why not have it at a drag strip? The surface is going to be optimal every time you go there. And,
Right.
and it's not like we're running on a prep track. We'll have the track guys just scrape it and they'll run on a scrape track. Yes, there's going to be more traction than a normal parking lot or street, but it's going to be a smooth surface. It's an even playing field because nobody's been there running on it. So what's the difference in running? You race the surface you're dealt, and it's going to be awesome to have a facility to race like that. But anyway, on to my list here. This is not, by no means or no how, this is not tied to any group, any association. This is an all new deal. This is this is our deal that I'm putting together. I'm putting together a new organization, and I'm not exactly sure what we're going to call it. But if Jegs is involved and on board with me on this, which I'll know shortly in the next week or two for sure. I'll get that Jegs deal ironed out, but I know they want in. But I would like to call it the Jegs RC Drag Racing Association.
Okay.
Um,
Nice. Okay.
that's what I want to come up with on it, and we're going to write our own rule book. Um, it's not going to be like a giant book of rules. We're going to keep it pretty simple. But I'm not for sure on the classes yet. Of course, we're going to have outlaw and we're going to have a box stock class, but it will be an index type race. So the box RTR cars will be policed and teched as out of the box cars, and they will have an index race. But the other one is either going to be, everybody was pretty excited about this new no bar deal, which is an outlaw no bar. The only thing I see downfall about it is the ETs on the cars compared to the regular outlaws are not that far off. And I really don't want to have 2 classes that's that close together in ETs and all. It's just, you're going to split your outlaw class. Half your guys are going to run no bar, and just, I don't think that's good. I really love the 13.5 deal, but a lot of people have issues with that. So I don't know yet, but I do want to have a no bar class of some sort, outlaw and RTR. Hi, Kid Sims. Um, anyway, on down the rule book. Of course, we're going to do the rules. It's just, that's some things that I had jotted down that we're starting on, and I'm sure this week is going to be plumb full of us talking about this down in Texas. And
It's going to be a big discussion, and I told you there are some people coming down to Texas that want to talk to you about this point series.
that's awesome. Well, I love to make plans, and I really, man, to me, I mean, I love to race my cars. Don't get me wrong, but if I can put something like this together that's going to be awesome for all the other racers in the country, I mean, my racing myself will come secondary because I'm super excited about putting a platform together for everybody to race, and it's pretty awesome.
The everybody is chiming in. A lot of so far so good. Nothing crazy. We've got Central Montana has a great. I mean, people. This is what I'm getting. Kid, can you hear us?
Yeah, man, I'm there. I'm here.
Okay. Well, you know what? Join the conversation. I don't know how much you know what we're talking about, but we're
Yeah.
talking. Okay, we're talking about a point series across the U.S.
So, So, I mean, I'm not a full size drag guy, and I don't know how it works. Other than, I mean, I follow NASCAR since I was knee high. I mean, I understand a point series. Used to race dirt cars. Um, how would it work with a regional versus versus like you'd have just regional guys, and then how would there be a
Okay.
point where we all race the top guys? Or?
Okay, so here's my way of thinking on it. Now that's going to fall back to how many regions we have, kid. We're going to have to decide if we're going to have 4 regions, 3 regions, how we're going to split the country up.
Yeah.
And me physically to be able to make it to all the races, that's the next part, because I'm going to go to every one of them. If it's a Jegs points race, my ass will be there, and
Right.
so we have to look at that. So a lot of guys have said they would love to see a 6-race series, and you can drop 1 race. So
Right.
that means if to be in contention, you have to go to 5 races, and you can drop your worst one. If you raced all 6, you could drop your worst finish as far as your points that you accumulated. So the other way that
So
I'm
like if the race in California, for me, that's going. I'm in Key West.
you could drop that race.
I can drop that one and keep
Yes.
on my.
But again, here's another thought. I mean, even for guys to try to make 5 races scattered around is going to be hard. I mean,
Yeah.
we all work for a living, and taking off that many weekends to go do this and spend the money to travel and all is going to be hard. So I just
Extremely
came up
hard.
with this. I came up with this when I was sitting on my dozer a while ago, and so if we have 4 divisions, say we have 4 or 5 even. Okay, let's call Texas their own. I've talked to the Texas guys. They want to be their own division of the country, which is fine. So let's have 2 races in 5 divisions. Okay, 2 races. Those 2 races get you the opportunity in your division to jump up to the top 30 in the points. Okay, so if you're in the top 30, that qualifies you to that 9th race of the year or 11th race of the year. You know what I'm saying? You're not physically going to 11 races, but the 11th race for Keith is going to be the championship.
Okay.
So you'd have 30 guys from every region coming to the championship race.
And that should be held in Florida.
Foster. I know you guys can see this, but Foster has joined us. What's up, Foster?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be a part of this conversation, man. It's been exciting. I haven't stopped thinking about it since Keith and I talked about it in Knoxville. And
well, I just already appointed you as a director of the Eastern Division.
Well,
it's
hey, I'm
over.
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Keith, because I know you've been working all day, and we all have. We've been busy. I don't know if you got a chance to see that email I sent, kind of my notes.
I saw it.
Kind of goes along with what you said. Having a director of each division. It's not going to be possible. Just as we as racers can't possibly travel all over the country, that's not really that feasible for you either. So you pick 6 or 8 races out of each division that has a good attendance, or we want to draw good attendance to, and a director of each division is organizing these races and organizing and controlling the points and the emails and all the contacts and creating a point system in each division where people are ranked in each division that make it to the finals, whether that be somewhere centrally located. Like we said, I'm working hard on Bristol. I've already got 2 contacts at Bristol right now, emailing me back and forth. So
Awesome.
I
Well,
love it, dude. I love it.
well,
And
the only problem I see with what I was just saying is 2 races might not be enough, as
you gotta
far
have
as
4.
to determine a top 30. You know what I mean? You could have a bad weekend and be one of the badasses and then come out and do good in another one and you miss the top 30. You know what I'm saying? So 2 races might not be enough. Maybe we have to make it mandatory. You have to go to 4.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just want to bump it off everybody. So we logistically, we have to get with these guys. So we have the turnout and the car count that can show up at these races.
Logistically, and I agree with you guys, because listen, here's the deal. People from California, man, going to Florida or going to, Knoxville, it's not as easy. Well, you guys know that. It's not easy, man. Packing
No.
up and getting on your stuff there, so if you, the region thing I like. I'm getting a lot of feedback though, and I'll share with you guys via email that you guys put me in. A lot of guys are on board about the region thing. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I like, and I'm gonna let Kid and Keith and you guys do some talking after this. But I thought about it 8 different ways. I like 4 races in each division, maybe 5. People in like for my division, for instance, you got Lucas in Virginia, myself in Knoxville, Kid down in Florida. You got Georgia guys, you got maybe Ohio guys. We have 4 big races,
And
then you're
maybe,
able.
sorry, I don't mean, I'm thinking out loud. Sorry, Foster.
You're good.
Maybe you take Oklahoma and Texas and combine those 2 states.
I
You know
think
what? Because that way, if we have 2 big events in Texas and we have 2 in Oklahoma, one of them is going to be Tulsa, the Super Chips, hopefully with Greg Bridgewater. He was interested in joining in with us. And then maybe I want to hold the final championship in Oklahoma because it's centrally located. I'm in the center, kid. I can't help it.
no, dude.
It has to be the last race has to be in it. The last race would have to be in the middle. It only makes sense.
Absolutely.
Hey,
You
a
know,
lot of
Yeah.
hold on. Listen, here's the deal. We got a lot of people that are agreeing. You guys, let's listen. We open this up as a roundtable, so we want to make sure we get all the comments and everybody that's chiming in. So let me try to get up to speed here. Everybody's saying 4 race minimum. They like it. 6 race, able to drop 1, liking it. Jesse Hernandez said, he could pull Texas off. That would be awesome in Dallas. It was. I'm just going through all the comments here. It's all about the money nationally and regionally, according to Biggie Paul, right?
Absolutely.
Northeast should be its own region. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, Tim. California, Nevada, and Arizona should be combined. That's, you know what? Yes. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Combine, because California, Nevada, and Arizona, there's a lot of racers here, man.
Yeah.
And they race y'all race so that Billy. I'm saying y'all. California and Arizona, those guys race against each other anyway.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, already.
Correct.
I mean that's a common thing. I mean, like I said, South Florida is going to be the only. It's going to be kind of hard trying to figure out where. I mean, because anywhere we go, I mean we got 10 hours of drive and we're still in the state.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I'm
Absolutely.
not saying guys won't travel. I mean, my RV, that's what I mean, literally I came in, threw a hat on, changed the shirt, and sat down because I was out there packing my camper up. And we're headed head your way, tomorrow morning. So, guys are going to do it. Have we figured out what the incentive, I guess, would be? And now, granted, I guess then guys are going to, you give guys a chocolate cake and they're going to race their asses off. Have you thought about that?
My way of thinking is the races that are already in place, like your race, Greg Bridgewater's race. We're not taking nothing away from the actual winnings of that event. You know what I'm saying? That event will stay as its payout and everything. We're just going to accumulate the points off of that towards the JEGS fund at the end of it. But I want the payouts to stay big, just like the event is already intended.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'm just. Are you saying that you keep saying Jags? Is Jags going to put up a little bit of folding green for the winner of this championship? Is that the idea?
Yeah, the idea of this deal is at the end of the year, whoever wins that points championship is going to win a big check.
Bonus. Boom.
So,
Bonus.
but we may have to, in order for that to be huge, we may have to. Okay, if you want to, you need to commit to the Jegs championship. Your membership is $10, whatever it is. That $10, $20 is going to go into the fund.
Right.
And you have to do something to commit them. You know what I mean? You got to get a commitment from them to get them into the championship deal. But yes, there's going to be many meetings over the next few weeks. Me with Jegs, of course, and like I said, they're tied deep with Traxxas. I would like to get Traxxas involved to where the points championship at the end of the year could be very awesome.
Yeah.
But I want to also have a format at these events too. Now I want there's going to have to be meetings with you guys, because I think we need to spread the payout on these big races down to the top 16.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. If we're paying $100 entry fee and we're racing for 10,000, I think it needs to split back 16 spots. I'm not saying pay everybody a equal amount. Your winner's still going to get the 75, 60%, 70%, whatever, but that other 30 needs to be scattered to those other guys.
Yep. Right now, SoFlo is scheduled. We have it, and I've already put it out there, so it's kind of hard to back up and punt on this one. But I've already said we're paying down to the top 8.
Right, and this is going to be, this is all a learning curve for all of us. This is a whole new deal. Nobody's doing this anywhere, and like I said, I'm trying to put it together for the racers to have something to aim for at the end of the year.
Yep.
And it's just something cool. I mean, big cars do it, so should we.
Yeah, I think, like I said, if you pay your $10 or $20 or however much it ends up being, you get a Jeg sticker in the mail. You put that Jegs, a Jegs RC, championship sticker on your car. That means you're running for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what you come out there. We're serious. We're looking for points that day.
Absolutely.
Should we raise our hand when we need to talk?
Cody,
go ahead.
Cody Offenbecker just joined us. Cody, are you? We're at an open roundtable on a point series across the U.S.
Yeah. What's up, Cody?
How's everybody doing?
You okay, Cody?
Hope everybody's doing all right. Yeah, I was listening in for a little bit on my way home. I like the idea of a point series. I like the idea of spreading it across the country. I do. Another couple points to step on was how many races. I like the idea of 6 races, maybe a couple on the East Coast, couple on the West Coast, and then finish it off in the middle. I like what y'all are doing with it. I like the ideas. It is hard to travel to that many races, but I mean, I've done it this year already, so I would say there would be a fair amount of people that would travel to a lot of them.
Yeah. So to simplify this, guy, simplify it.
Hey, so let's do this. Since we're doing a roundtable, Philip Staub has something to say. He said he likes paying down 8, not 16. Start with Kid. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, as a promoter, I'll be honest with you. The reason I went with 8, and I got asked by several people, even Cody being one of them, to pay down top 16. And I did the math, and man, as a promoter, we like seeing that big payout to the winner, man, saying that we're going to give our winner, in my case, if we get all 256 entries, telling that winner, we're going to give you $16,000. I mean, it's just, I mean, as a promoter, that's what we want to give that. That draws the excitement in that big check to the winner. And then if you spread it out to one more round, because that's essentially what you're doing. It stopped from 8. Now you're making it one more. It pays one more round earlier. Now, granted, I can diminish second place on down, and still keep that first place, the 65% of the purse, I can diminish it, down more. And I guess that would work, but I still, as a promoter, like to have that as big a number to go into the winner as possible, because nothing looks better than having that big printed check with a big number on it, and that gets people excited for the next race.
Hey, real quick, there's a comment there, Billy, about
Yep.
having a green person on the round table. Foster, how long have you been drag racing RC?
How long about racing RC cars?
Yes, sir. Just this year, right?
2 weeks.
Well, NPRC, yeah, probably a year. Before that, we weren't considered NPRC. We were drag racing other types of vehicles. But yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that question that guy had. He's like, we need green. As far as I mean, I've been building drag cars and racing them here just very little. I do a lot of testing and go to a few races because I just don't have time. So to me, I'm a green RC racer. But anyway, go ahead, Foster.
Yeah, we can get back to Billy's question, but to simplify all this, guys, basically, when Keith gets this all in place, when everybody part of this gets all in place, there's gonna be 4 or 5 divisions, lines drawn in the country, just like college football and whatever, baseball, north, east, south, northwest, southwest, central. And everybody that has a club in those areas will still continue to do their races that they're doing already. Keith and Jags will decide what races they want to be a part of every year and make that a part of the point series. And that race will be decided to be, hey, this is a Jags point series race. And then that'll be attached to it, and you can show up to that location. And if you've bought into the Jags point series or whatever that initiation is considered, you'll race in that event, and the director for that division will keep on whatever going on. I mean, it's all in its simplest form, 4 to 6 races in each division that funnels down into one main race at the end of the year. Basically, the goal. We just figure out how to do it.
Hey, so guys, I've invited Mike Pratt to join us. He's put on some he's put on some races himself in the past, and him and I have talked about this. What's up, Mike Pratt?
Hola, everybody.
Can
you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Awesome, cool.
How's it going, Bubba?
Hey, I got Abel Lips here.
Hi, guys,
It's like
I'm
the
here.
Brady Bunch.
Oh man.
Can I kind of jump in to catch up just a couple of ideas for me?
Mike, yes, of course.
So there's a lot of point series that are out there already that already have a set formula and format that works really well. The Tour Series, the Sun Belt Series, NASCAR does a lot of different series like this that we can emulate in a lot of different ways. There's one question that always comes up, and I've raced in these series that always comes up, is how are you going to make sure that the races are the same? The rules, are they the same? And how are the points awarded for people to elevate in this the same across the border or across the playing field?
Well,
but one person has to make that decision, and it's probably going to be whoever's signing off on it to take it to Jags or however that works.
That's where I made the comment earlier. I'm physically going to have to go to these races. I don't think it can be a championship points race unless I'm there. And that way the tech is done the same way. Everything across the board, every race that we race for points is the same format, the same way, it's ran the same way at every one.
So you're talking about doing this just as like 6 races or however many races, and that's it. You're not talking about including all the list racers out there in their home races.
No.
Okay.
This is going to be our own series of 6 to 8, possibly 10 races.
Perfect. Okay.
But it's by region.
Yeah.
It'll be. It ain't like there's not going to be two races going on at the same time, and some of these races are already in place. So the only thing that I'm going to want to do is try to get the people that are putting the races on that are existing already is to move them to a drag strip. I want to have them at a big drag strip where we got plenty of room. Guys can leave their pits set up. You don't have to tear your pits down at night. I mean, it's a no-brainer to go to a drag strip.
Yeah.
Well, another idea for you just inside of that, if an area can't find a drag strip, is find a casino.
I'll find a drag strip.
Well,
I know where all of them are at.
Well, like I said, we're not at a drag strip, but we're at the next best thing. We're at Homestead Miami Speedway, and
right.
if you need more room than what we got, God help you.
Right.
Well, I just been to some races that when you get there, like me, I have to set up a lot of stuff. The tech tent is not a small thing. It's 20-foot tent. And then I have my own stuff I have to set up, my own pit, my items that I sell. So by the time I set all that up, if I have to tear that down just to go to sleep at the hotel at night, then come back and set it all up tomorrow, that sucks.
Right. That's another thing. I know I keep saying about my race, but one thing I do have, what's nice about mine is, we're going to be, a lot of people are going to be camping there at night and staying on the property. But we have security there at the racetrack. So
yeah, that'd be good.
So I mean, not saying anything can happen, but not saying nothing's going to happen. But you're not on the, you're not at a Walmart parking lot either. Not that there's wrong with Walmart.
There's a question right there. Tim Cedarberg said, Keith, how are you going to go to 21 races a year? I am not, Tim. That's how. It's not going to be 21 races. We're going to be probably, realistically, I'm saying 8 to 10 races. Some guys have said 6, but I would like to do 8 or 10 because we're looking at 4. It depends on how many regions we have. That's the whole kicker.
Right.
If we're going to have 4 regions, it'll be probably 8 races total. If we're going to do 5 regions, then it'll be 10. So it just depends on how we lay the regions out.
How are you going to, when it comes down to this, and you guys, I mean, I get it. This is going to take a little time, but when you get the regions, how are you going to designate who gets what, how they get it? I mean, that's going to be the thing, because if you guys look at all the people chiming in, there's a whole lot of people that want to be a part of this. And they're in regions all across the country.
Sean South, you're exactly right. By the way,
at a drag strip. There you go.
He said it sounds like I'm promoting what his race is, and his race is going to be along the lines of what I want to do. It's at a drag strip, and it's real close.
Brian Elkins says, draw the top 30 from every race and put them in the last championship race.
Draw the top. How do you draw the top 30?
Bro, I'm just, again, we're at an open discussion, my friend.
So another idea to go along with that, because you're trying to figure out, you were talking through earlier how to make the prize money. If each one of these races, if you take, say it's $100 entry, and you take $10 from every entry from each of the regional races, and that goes towards the final, that's going to build your pot pretty quick.
Absolutely. And then everything we get from sponsors and from the companies on top of that just sweetens the pot even more. And so, yes, I agree. But I think there should be a prize for the guy that wins the points in his division, in his region. He gets a Eastern Division champion or Southern Division champion or whatever. They're going to get a little bonus there. Pow! Here you go. Here's you a bonus and a jacket and a ring pop. There you go. Thank you. So, but I see it being really fun and something that guys will go home and they're getting their cars. Man, I got a points race. I've got to be at. It's going to give them something more to prepare their race cars for. They're racing for a championship.
Right.
So
It's never been done, and I think you guys are onto something. And again, Keith and Cody and Kid and whoever and Abel that's here. This is something, and Foster. I mean, we'll always include. I mean, we're going to all be together this weekend. It's just some things we can continue to talk.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think I'm on board. I think it's a great idea. Let's. I mean, obviously, we need to flesh it out a lot more.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Once we get it fleshed out, I'll do whatever I need, whatever's needed me, to help out. If it's help me organize something, whatever you need, man.
Hey Cody, what is your thoughts on? I know you're a worldly traveler, so this is probably you're probably not the right guy to ask.
Yeah, right.
But what do you think as far as races? For most of the guys that you race with around there, how many could they make? I'm not talking about you and Josh. I'm talking about like just your normal guys that race around you. Would they travel to an adjoining region to make 2 races?
So there's it's just like anywhere. I think we have probably 10 guys locally that travel somewhat. They don't travel near as much as Josh and I do, but regionally they would definitely travel to the big races. There's also some guys that are, say 10, 12 hours away from us, but still East Coast that I know travel. I know the East Coast doesn't really have a huge representation in a lot of these, West Coast or Midwest races. And I know Josh and I and a few others are one of few that can travel to them, but regionally, I think that we could have a good turnout. As far as getting these guys to go to the West Coast for, say, those events, that would be a little tougher. Now, if we're doing a big point series like this with this kind of format, me personally, that would probably take precedence over some of these other races that I would try to go to, so I'm going to, if I'm invested in a point series, that's where I'm going to be.
Right.
So maybe that would dictate some things too. It would encourage people to come to those races because there's a bigger picture they're working towards. They don't have to win that event, but if they finish well and fare well in their region, they can do well.
Absolutely.
So I'm all for this idea. I love this idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Scott Campbell makes a good point. Good idea to do the Southern race in the wintertime in Florida.
Yes.
Right?
I like the idea.
Absolutely.
Yes. In Arizona.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
That's another thing too. Whenever we get people, that are wintered in, and you got a race in Florida, well, their schedule's wide open, so that makes it to where more people can travel to it then as well.
Well,
right.
Say that. I mean, some of the guys, when you say wintered in, some of those guys may be literally wintered in. Hard to travel.
That's true too.
I said this yesterday. What is today? Tuesday. Actually, it's Sunday with Keith on his live about it. And I'm not really sure because he's a friend. I'm saying
I'm catching about every other word.
Yep. Yeah. Foster,
Me too.
Foster, we're losing you.
Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Yes.
All right. This is the importance of rcjunkie.com. Everybody that's scheduling an event, because if we're talking about this going live in 2022, I mean, that's 4 months away. Everybody that's scheduling an event, any promoter, anybody that's putting on a race, we got to have a format where those races are on a calendar, and that's RC Junkie. So that way Keith and Jake can look at those things and say, hey, this is where we're going to be. We're not going to be able to overlap races. We're not going to be able to be in 2 places. So if you are a promoter or you're doing something with a race, you've got to get on that one format that's built and put it on the calendar so the guys that are making these decisions can see where we can actually do this and physically do it.
Yep. That way we don't have a
Absolutely.
Constant just now where he had a great idea and had a bunch of backing and everything, but he put right up on top of another race, on Sean's race, who 90% of the RC drag world had already just committed saying we're going to Sean's race. Well, it's not fair to dump Sean to go to this, to the other race in Wisconsin. It's not fair to Sean if you can't make both races. If he would have little pay, if there was a way. Now there is a way, but back before when he did it, I kind of see his point. It was a little hard to find race, but if you looked hard enough, you could find out what races were going on around that time and scheduled it around it if you wanted to.
Well,
I know I scheduled mine. I called up Tyler. I called up Bridgewater. I called up Sean, and I made sure that when I scheduled my race, it was going to be nowhere near their current schedule of where they were going to be. And that way I didn't have any conflicts. And now, thank God, we have RC Junkies where now it's just you don't even have to call people. You just look, and like, okay, there's a hole. I'm sticking mine there.
Yep.
Yeah. And for 2022, a lot of the bigger races already have a date set, like you and Greg and Billy for his race. Those dates are already set for 2022. So it only makes sense to try to work with the race promoters on this deal and utilize their race as a championship race.
I agree.
That way we're not conflicting with anybody's race date. We may add 2 or 3, down the road, for fillers in our regions. But for the most part, we will try our best to work with the race promoter and use their race as a championship race.
It's
not only that keeps people.
Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Do what, Cody?
So not only that if we're not overlapping races, your attendance is going to be higher too.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things that hurt Wisconsin is, like kids said, a lot of people had committed to Kansas already. So, that a lot of people can't swing both races. I know Wisconsin was up in the air for me until last minute, and I ended up going. But, that's why I think the car count was down. Had it been, say, in its own month, I think they'd have had multiple people. And another thing I'd like to touch on is if you're going to do this big point series and have something this prestigious, especially with the backing that you guys are talking about having, I think Wisconsin is a good example of what these races should look like.
Absolutely.
That was top notch. And I mean, I had people calling me, telling me it looked like we were racing NHRA with the camera angles and stuff. And that was probably the best as far as atmosphere and experience race that I've been to this year. Nothing against any of the other races, just that one was over the top. It felt professional. It felt, like a big stage. So I think that would be something to strive for with this point series.
Well,
that's how we do the Human Nationals as well. It's an NHRA base.
What?
Awesome.
Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. I've got 2 things to say right now. So, guys, here's a really good question. What about is there going to be age restriction?
Why would there be?
Yeah, no.
Why would there be an age restriction?
Hey, I'm not asking. No, hold on. Wait, hey, don't shoot shoot the messenger. No. Somebody asked, will there be an age restriction? And I already knew the answer, but I'm asking you guys. The answer is no, correct?
No. I mean, most little kids are going to chop your head off on the tree anyways.
Right.
So.
They're badasses.
Yeah.
Right? And, Kid, what were you going to say? Kid.
What's that?
I said you were going to say something. That you got cut off.
Oh, I was going to say when he was talking about the race looking professional, I said, well, Billy's going to have his race where it looks. I mean, it's going to be 100% professional, just like in HR.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Hey. No. No. You can't go there. No. Dude,
put Billy on the spot now.
You just put me on the spot.
I didn't
But all I'm saying is, that was if you guys want something that's going to last and get people to come back. I mean,
yes,
I think Wisconsin could be the biggest race next year just because of how much fun people had and how good the experience was. And I mean, I've had fun at every event I've been to, but that one right there definitely stood out. Just the venue, the the setup of the track, the banners all down the side. I mean, it legitimately felt like I was in a real car in a real drag strip with, 10,000 fans. I mean, I know we didn't have the fans in person, but I know there's a ton of people watching online,
You can tell. You
and the
can tell.
coverage was great.
So he definitely spent a lot of money on that race.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be that kind of race that gets these bigger, non-RC outside sponsors to want to put their name on it. Like that
Absolutely.
race could have really been ran on ESPN, and I think people would have watched even if they weren't into RC cars, just because of how involved it was.
Definitely, I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm gonna make one more statement, and I'm gonna listen to you guys because I got to go eat dinner with the family. It's dinner time out east over here. I eventually see. I mean, they put cornhole on ESPN.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
there you go.
I think,
Yes.
I think 2022 is a good trial run for the point series, and I think the regional coverage is what's gonna make it build. I think 2023 is a totally different subject with 8 races or 10 races spread around the country. I think we've got to get the people to gravitate to the fact that this is real. There's going to be the backing that Jegs is putting into it, and what it's going to represent. And you have 4 or 5 races in each region where points are being built on the 2 races that Keith and Jegs decide to be a part of in each region that funnels down into the finals. And then 2023 is a totally different conversation. 8 races at 8 drag strips across the United States, with money involved, with sponsors involved, and that can happen in 2022 as well. Keith has got to get Jegs, for them to commit when he has his plan to present to them. And then once that happens, we can actually draw territories and regions, and he can choose races based what's on the calendar on RC Junkie and .com. And then from there, it's his, they write us into rules, and it's the same at every race, and everybody's opinion and every racer's thought goes into making this happen. And it happens, and it's going to take hard work and willingness and patience through everybody because this sport's evolving on a daily basis. 2022 is going to be. Go ahead.
No, and let me ask you guys a question. Would you guys be opposed to taking? Let's call it 6 races, whatever. Let's just call it 6 races. Would you guys be opposed to taking some of this money that is going to be doled out throughout the country, throughout all the races, and take a portion of it and maybe doing a scholarship for a young kid?
I mean, we can do anything.
Wonderful idea.
We can do anything the masses agree on.
Okay,
I mean,
it's just a thought. I mean, I see a lot of people talking about
this
kids.
is not about the money as far as for me as it is putting a program together for everybody to have something awesome to race at. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with helping, something like that happen. So.
Right. Hey, so I need to.
I see a.
Guys, give me 1 sec, okay? I've got to do this because this is where my little world that I live in. We're also over on YouTube, and YouTube has some questions. Let me ask you guys these questions, okay? Because he's like, will somebody just answer my question, please? Are you guys going to have
Top Fuel?
Are you going to have a Top Fuel dragster version for RC? No.
They have
No.
Top Fuel.
We're not.
Oh,
No.
That's a different
That's a
division.
whole different class. Yeah.
Brad,
That's RCDRL. They have the
Texas.
prep tracks with the pro stocks, the pro mods, and yeah.
Ask Jasmine about that. She has a really fast rail car.
She's got a fast one. Right?
Fast.
Yeah.
Like extremely fast rail car.
So over on YouTube, I see your questions. I see everything coming, but there's a lot. The Brady Bunch is in full effect right now, so there's a lot of people on board right now. So go ahead, Keith or Mike or whoever.
So I see a lot of people talking about the money issues. Cash gift card takes care of that.
What did you say?
cash gift card. That's what we're giving away. You're getting a cash gift card.
Cash gift card to Walmart.
That takes care of taxes and everything else.
How many can you fit on one screen?
Hey, Daniel Thomas, I can fit 8 people.
8 people? Jeez.
The question is how many, Billy, how many can you fit on one screen?
As many as he wants. Yeah, Chris Hobbs, you tell him.
So, Kid, you're coming to Padre, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Cody, are you coming to Padre Island?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll be there.
Oh, great. You got a 13.5 car?
Bro, you're all...
No, I got a bracket car, though.
Yes.
He's got a bracket call.
I'm a bracket racer at heart.
Yep.
Well, good.
I was a bracket racer before I was an outlaw racer.
Well, I'm sure, like I said, I'm going to get there Thursday midday. So I'm sure we're going to have lots more discussions about this down there.
Oh, yeah.
I know I got some Texas guys down there that are super excited about this deal too. And they get overlooked a lot down there. You know, that state is absolutely a monster. I mean, it's huge. And they have not one big money race there. It's unbelievable that they don't have a big money race in that.
Especially at Texas Motor Speedway with an RC drag strip.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
With no prep, and they're starting to get on with the no prep. They were the RCDRL, forever in Texas, and now they're got guys are switching over. Or either switching over or doing both.
Here's another thing that I would like to steer my series away from, Kid, and this is not anything to do with anybody, but this no prep mentality that everybody has as far as, oh, we're no prep racers. Well, I hate to break it to you, but we're not running from the cops. We don't have real cars. So no, we're not street racers. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if I have y'all line up here in my garage floor in the front yard in the grass. You have to race the surface you're dealt. So
Yes,
why not have it on a drag strip? They're going to be smooth. They're going to be good. It's going to be good every time you go. Yeah. And you're already prepping your tires, so the no prep thing is gone anyways. And I don't give a two craps what anybody says. Well, no prep means it's the street. Well, bullshit, because your tires are prepped. I mean, NHRA, we couldn't prep our tires, so the racetrack was prepped. You know what I'm saying? So it's one or the other. Either your tires are prepped or the track's prepped. It's the same difference. You're still you're trying to stick a tire to get down the track.
I do know some guys that have used to run no prep and went over to the full RCDRL, and they said it's a completely different animal. It's not just you can't just car down and think it's gonna all of a sudden I've got all the grip in the world.
No.
It's
but at the drag strips, the track guys will scrape the track. Granted, there's still going to be some rubber on the drag strip. You just can't get it all up. But as far as the glue and the prep, the VHT, all that stuff, there won't be none of that on the track. It's going to be drug and scraped, and we're racing on as virgin of a drag strip as you can get. So that's my way of thinking and my 2 cents on the no prep deal. That's why I don't want no prep or NP anywhere affiliated with my association.
Hey, so guys, let me read this to you, and then I'm going to get RC Tech Talk Tuesday off. Hey, so I'm going to read this to you from Eric Dink, and he's a road racer, and this is his thoughts. Now, you guys will just start after I finish this. Let's figure out what you guys think. This is kind of a long one, so bear with me. It says, my thoughts would be one promoter type person travel the country and put on a race or series each year, and the winners of those races get invited to an end-of-the-year race party with the 16 winners, racing it out for the championship while also having a big race for all the rest so they can watch the 16 duke it out for all the cash or glory or whatever. So 16 different races with 16 winners to race a championship race with just those 16 winners, then a second race the same day, sort of like King of the Streets, and everyone invited to come race and have a good time. Thoughts?
My vision on this deal is the guys that place in the top 25 or 30, whatever we decide on these regions. So at the end of all of the qualifiers, all the regions, all the qualifying races are done. We're going to the big race. All the points get wiped out before the big race anyways. So all of that 100 guys or however many guys are in the top 30, top 25, whatever, that are racing for it have 0 points. So all that matters is that race anyways for them. And then if we want to have a race alongside of it for everybody else that wants to come, that's great. I would say you would have to, that would be tough. If you got 100 racers coming in to race for a championship, you couldn't mingle those guys in with them. They're going to have to race it out first.
Yeah, one guy making 16 races, you know, as the race promoter. That, I don't care who it is, man. You
I
better
can't, I
retire.
can't, I can't do that and own a business at the same time.
Yeah. I've been to 52 this year.
50.
I have to
Josh
get on.
has too.
Who?
I have to get on a big old. I had to get on welfare if I do that because I wouldn't have a job. But no, I can't. I can't make that many. Go ahead, Billy.
Josh, so Josh, do you have anything to say about this, Josh? Your thoughts?
Hey,
on
I just noticed that we got
Yeah.
another face in here.
That's the Brady Bunch.
I'm just kind of catching up on it. From what I hear, it sounds good and promising. I like what I hear so far.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
He
y'all
has
seem like
so
y'all
much
got it
to
all
say.
figured out.
Josh,
I
he's
really
always
like your
that.
idea
Everyone
of-
expects Josh to have a big novel, but he doesn't have a novel.
If you ever run
Oh,
across,
but when you get to know him, he is.
yeah, I was gonna say, hold on a second. If you're ever with Josh at a race and you walk up to him and say, "Hi, Josh," you better be prepared because he's not gonna say,
You're
yeah,
there
I was
for an hour.
right? I was just listening to you guys. It sounds really good. Thanks.
That answer was pretty cut and dry. Oh,
That was
sounds pretty
cut
good.
and dry.
Pretty good. Sounds good.
I mean,
I do
Rick,
really
don't
like
know.
the idea of using existing races that are out there and then adding whatever amount of races you need beyond that, adding a new venue to. That makes it. And then the second part is of that statement is, are you going to allow people to go from region to region, or is it just going to be regional people to race in this series?
it's a good question.
So can Cody come to Arizona and win in Arizona and qualify?
That's
just-
one of the things we have to figure out.
It's a good question.
I think you should be able to run, if we do a 2 race per region deal, I think you should be able to step out of your region 2 more races.
I agree. Race every race. Well, I think everybody, if you're doing it as a points series for an end dollar amount and you're taking a percentage out of every race for a points winner, then, and you can do it inside of this same series, is you have a points winner for the series. So, just like they do with any race series, if you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. You just don't get the points for it.
Right.
And those that are
Right.
dedicated are going to be at all 8 races. Of course, there's going to be, those 10 guys that are running for the points. And then you've got a percentage of the pool throughout the whole year that they're racing for. And there's a race off with the top, 20 or whatever it is. But you still have one big solid event for everybody that qualified at all 8 of those races.
Right.
Like the top 25 you were talking about. You'd have to have 2 different events inside of that.
I see what you're
So
saying.
I have something I like to touch on. If you're going to use existing events, there's could be an issue with. So you're going to want to run your point series a certain way. You're going to want tech to be done a certain way. That way it's equal across the board.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm not speaking for the promoters, but I don't know how many promoters are going to be okay with you coming in and changing their program or, doing something different than the way they're wanting to do it.
Right.
So it may be
Right.
better off just setting your own race schedule and do your own thing outside of, existing promoters just to keep that conflict from happening. Because that
I'm
way you
gonna
get
say
everything
as a
the same
promoter-
across the board.
Cody, let me answer that as a promoter real quick.
Okay.
So us in Yuma for the Nationals, we stand by NPRC rules. Okay, we're pretty rigid about it, but it's a Nationals event, so we do that. Others have their own variations, but the
Correct.
amount of people that this is going to bring to any promoter's race, they're going to be willing to adapt to whatever the set rules are, as long as it's not something really abstract.
Right.
We'll
Right. Okay, and that's good.
get within that.
Yeah. Somebody to help me with tech? Oh, I'd hate that. Oh, don't
Yeah, same with me.
tech.
Well, good. Then that's good. That means we got some good promoters in the hobby,
Yeah.
so that's really good.
Yeah, I know Sean South's going to be on board. I know he'll be on board, and I think Greg Bridgewater is too. I think he's all for moving over to the Tulsa drag strip too. So I think certain guys that are putting on big races, I think they'll be willing to work with you and because all we're going to do is it's going to make everything better.
Who all on here is part of the MPRC decision making list?
I don't think there is one anymore.
I believe there still is. Curtis is there somewhere, right, Billy?
Oh yeah, yeah, he's here. I forgot about Curtis.
Where's he at?
Curtis is out there somewhere.
Where? Number.
Probably working on the trailer.
We can bring him in here. I mean, if
Well,
you want
what
to
I'm
get him.
saying is, if you really want to do this as a 2022, the rules haven't been set for 2022. So
Okay.
maybe as a collective, when you pick out what races are going to be, maybe because I'm sure the person that's behind MPRC will be open to it, especially with this big of a series, that we just set it as the MPRC 2020 rules, and then that's for this series. It's not going to do anything to take away from MPRC. It's just going to, again, make a guideline of rules.
Hey guys, I'm gonna listen in. I've got to go eat dinner. My wife's yelling at me. You guys probably heard that.
Hey, you're gonna break up the Brady Bunch, man.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep myself from getting my butt whooped tonight. So
All right, dude.
I'm gonna listen in. I love it, Keith. I'll be sending you some more emails. We'll work. Whatever you need, just get in touch with me. It's good seeing all you guys. I'll listen
buddy.
in. Great show.
See you, Foster.
Hey,
All right, buddy.
Later, Foster.
I'm gonna miss you down in Texas, man.
You never know. If I get beat up too bad tonight, I might get a plane ticket.
All right, Foster. Well, there's 12 people staying in my room, man, so you can join us. Let me fix this camera.
If I can keep from it, I want to keep totally separate from MPRC. So
Okay.
I want us to do our own thing and establish our own organization where we're not relying on anyone.
Okay. So
I
you're
like
saying
that.
basing your rules close to theirs? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want anybody to have to go change their cars all up, kid. I mean, everybody's kind of got their cars built, fairly rule worthy, anyways.
Right.
The outlaw cars are probably going to stay where they're at, anyways. But we may change things here or there. We may. It all depends on the no bar class, what we do with that.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some rules there. I don't know if we're gonna add some weight to that deal if we keep an outlaw type motor or what we're gonna do. But I want some separation in the ETs of those classes because right now the ETs are really close. So
Yeah. I think a no bar with a 17.5 or a 21 with it that you can do what you want to with it.
right, you can run timing and stuff on it instead of being in blinky.
As long as when we figure out that number later, but a 17.5 or a 21, whatever with timing and boost,
This guy said you want to separate from MPRC, but you're trying to get the big MPRC races to be a point race. But it's not an MPRC championship race.
No.
They're just utilizing the rules.
Correct.
There's nothing to do with MPRC.
MPRC isn't
other
a
than
governing body or anything.
No.
It's nothing but a group of guys that got together and said, let's come up with an idea of what we all want to run.
Right.
More of a style of racing.
Yes.
Right. There's nothing. It's not an NPRC race. We're anyway. You get where I'm coming from.
Yep, we do.
It's more. I would say it's more. You don't have a sanctioning body. It's a style of it's a style of racing.
Right. Right.
So.
Anybody else? Hey, Josh, you haven't really put your 2 cents in. Come on, man. Tell us what you think about this deal.
Come on, Josh.
I know you like to talk.
I kind of like the way you're trying to do this with the no NPRC rules. I like the way you guys want to do your own thing. I guess there's going to be some limitations. I think like your way, I think we probably still should follow a battery rule, something like that.
Yeah.
But as far as tire, like, no foam tires, stuff like that, the normal things. I mean, but there shouldn't be no wing rule, no rear cutout rule. I think there's, stuff like that, wheelie bar links, should be, how it used to be. Most races was what I think, Cody, I can't remember.
13.
Was
Is
13,
it 13
from the axle?
Yeah, 13
like
from the axle.
So I think
center of the wheelie bar wheel.
I think we should probably go like 13, stuff like that. Not exceed it too much. But I think I don't like when I go to a race, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings when I say this, but when you sit there and you want to check my wing, to me, my wing really don't make my car. My Voodoo tires don't make my car. I mean, we just watched Frank Ulbrich go 80+ mile an hour reaction.
Absolutely.
Very true.
So when you give those rules, I don't really back that, because I see a bunch of cars with cutout rear ends, bigger wings than me, and reactions, and sometimes I don't get beat by them, and sometimes I do.
Yeah.
So the wing rule, I would like to touch on it. If we're going to change the wing rule, I think it should just be an off the deck height. Just make it across the board, inch off the deck, 2 inches off the deck, whatever you want it to be, but rather than it stay above the roof. And the reason
because
I
that's
say
so
that is,
hard.
then we can rake our body.
Yeah. It's so hard.
And that's the
because
problem we have now.
you
You can't rake your body.
Like
Go ahead,
that Firebird body is so flat. It's like really hard to not get the wing above the roof. So
no, agreed, 100%.
And
especially when you're wanting to utilize rake.
Yeah.
Right now, that's what's nice about it. There's, we're not with that. I can say, if and I give people a long head enough left, I say, okay, you got 2 inches above the deck for your side panels. Now, granted, we're going way off topic on talking about rules, but so
that could be a 5-hour video on itself.
Other than that already signed up for my race, but but they'd have time to test at this point. They have time to test change the cars if they want.
And you touched on the Voodoo tire there for a minute, and the only reason I have even mentioned that in my live shows is because I've had people messaging me asking me about them, and I'm 100% believer that they're a great product, and I don't want to alienate any manufacturers at all. But the only problem I see is if you get some guys bitching and they can't get them, and that's the only problem I see. I just really want them to be readily available to all the racers, to where, if he wants to go buy a set of Voodoos, he can get them, and not have to try to buy them in 3 minutes or get on a pre-order, and that's the only thing, is you're going to get all those questions and you have to try to address it. But I think it's a great tire, and Reaction's a great tire. But again, I talked to Tom Rockwell the other night, and he talks to Matt, and he thinks that the supply and demand problem is going to be nipped in the butt by wintertime. So I don't think the tire supply is going to be an issue by the time 2022 gets here.
And we're talking about tires. Let's go ahead and back up 4 or 5 months ago, and think about
couldn't get reactions.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was.
That's why I don't agree with banning anything.
And the whole time you can't get speed controls. So
that's right. Yeah. That's right.
I just said we
ban.
ban.
Where do we stop banning?
Just start banning everything.
Just
ban NPRC.
I don't see that we can.
Abel, you're banned.
Ban the tire.
Later,
but
guys.
I just really hope that it's more readily available by the time all these races come up. Or hey, they said Proline's new tires coming out that's supposed to be real good. So
and then you also got drag concept or drag race.
Right. So I think the tire deal is going to nip its own self in the butt by the time we get close to racing.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Agreed.
There'll always be a part. It's racing. There'll always be something out there that's on back order you can't get, or that you broke like 2 seconds before you're supposed to be on the racetrack and you don't have the spare for. that's just racing.
Absolutely.
Same
In
in
real drag racing, there's good parts you can't get because they're custom one-off parts or whatever, but you can't just go banning them.
Agreed.
Yeah, Scott Reeves said he can't get a TLR idler gear, so let's just make those illegal while we're at it.
Yeah. I can't get any parts for my MIP transmission, so gearbox.
The thing I would say, I just want to be able to show up to a race and not really have to worry about the little itty bitty things like a tire or a wing or something like that.
Well, Josh, an outlaw class is outlaw, buddy.
No,
I mean, that's
yes, sir.
Any way you look at it, an outlaw is an outlaw. So I do like what Cody said. You measure off of the deck of the car, and if you want to make the spill plates a certain height, no taller than 1.5 inches, no taller than 1.25 inches, whatever that number is.
Fine with me. Yep.
Because it's so hard, especially with the shark body and the Firebird. If you get the spill plates just even elevated a little, they're going to be taller than the roof. So,
yep. And ours were actually below the roof. Mine was below the roof in Wisconsin. I was one of the few that didn't have to cut my wing, but that just shows that there's not an advantage. I mean, Frank was flying before he cut his wing, and then he cut his wing and went even faster. So,
yeah.
I mean, nobody's gaining an advantage from running a huge wing, in my opinion.
I don't
it's
think
drag at the end of the day.
To me, the vertical spill plates are not adding any speed to you anyways. All that's doing is stabilizing the ass end from wagon as it goes down the track. Yep. So all of your stabilization is coming from, and your downforce is from the deck plate anyways. So, but what do I know?
Yes,
right. Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah.
Do you have a car?
I've never built a wing in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, listen. Okay. So far, Keith.
Spit it out, Billy. Spit it out.
Spit it out. Abel, Keith, Mike, Cody, Josh, everybody. Keith, everybody likes the idea. Okay? So now, just running with this idea and getting it all set in stone is going to be the next part of this. I'm sitting here. You haven't seen hear me chime in because I'm watching what everybody's saying, and so far everybody's liking it. It's just coming down to the we're going to do this again. We're going to have after this weekend, because we're all going to be together, all of us except for Mike and Josh. And it'll be more we'll talk about when we're together, right, Abel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean it's happening, right? I mean, is Jegs pretty close to signing this deal?
I'll know more. I mean, they told me to run with it. They said run with it, man. We want to be a part of it. Let's awesome. Make something happen.
Yeah. And Jegs is going to be Jegs.com is going to be down in Texas with us.
Texas.
Yep.
Most of us, if you're going to Texas, you're definitely going to Topeka. Well, we got a chance that we can all be in the same room together. And we can get Foster on the phone, or we can get East Coast guys or West Coast guys on the phone, and let's try to flesh this out at least as much as we can while we're all going to be in the same room.
Well, I would like to like Thursday night before the Topeka race, maybe we could all. If there's some guys you can think of that might want to be a part of this, or a director of a region or something, or just a body that is good at speaking with their groups or whatever, let's have a dinner or something, and all of us go sit down and eat and talk about this deal.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be just a race promoter. I'm talking about racers, guys like all of us, and let's talk about it.
Well, Keith, you're going to be. You're going to be in Topeka. There's going to be over 200 people there. I mean,
absolutely.
And there's going to be a lot of big names there. So this is something we can just, to have fun with this and just talk about it. I mean, you know what I mean? A big powwow, according to Rachel.
Powwow. Sorry, the more chiefs you get in and the less Indians, the harder it's going to be. I'm just going to let you know right now.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, guys, this is my little dream that I'm working on. I just want everybody to be part of it, and I want it to be fair. And
just like Janito Portel from Puerto Rico just said, all in the same room. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah,
First thing everybody should do, like was said earlier, is get on Race Junkie and get. Okay. If you have an idea of doing a race, this next year, you need to be on there.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this, Mike. Well, just this is where everybody that is over on YouTube and everybody that's on Facebook, there's a lot of people on here that have not been on here. I can see it. We have a website. It's called rcjunkie.com. You can go in there and you can see we now have calendars, and it's nationwide. You can put your race event right inside these calendars. I will approve it, and then it starts to build. It's building daily, guys. rcjunkie.com is building every day. If you have a race coming, I don't care if it's in 2023, go to rcjunkie.com, put your race in there. So as this thing I'm going to call it a thing, this point series becomes bigger and bigger, you can be a part of it right through racejunkie.com, rcjunkie.com. By putting your race inside this, it takes you 5 minutes. So if you have something coming up then throughout this year and next year, just go there and put it inside there so we all can see what's going on.
Right. Roy Offenbacher just commented, how are the venues going to be decided for the point series? Well, that goes back to our regions and the races that are already in place, right?
Yeah.
So
there's still we got a lot to flesh out. A ton to flesh out.
Oh yeah.
This is the idea that Keith just floated out to everybody. So let's everybody step back, take a breath.
Yep.
Digest the idea first, and then we'll flesh it out. We'll put that out. And then we'll come back and tweak it. Here and there. We don't have we're close to having a final product yet.
No, not yet.
But so bear with us, guys. Let's step back, take a breath. You just got the idea now. And he has a pretty good idea, and he's probably fleshed out a little more than he's letting on. But right. So we'll step back, take a breath, and we'll flesh this out more, and then we'll bring it back out, and then we'll set it, show everybody what Keith's thinking, and at that point. We'll tweak it a little bit more here and there. We'll figure it all out. Right. But the idea was just get it in front of you and seeing what everybody likes. If everybody likes the idea, hates the idea, and so we just wanted to. I think the idea was just to float it out there,
right,
and see what.
Oh yeah.
Wants.
Well, we wanted to gauge this by see what kind of interest there was in even doing it. Because there's no point in wasting all the effort if there's not even an interest to pursue it, Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. So, and I'm just going by what I'm looking through. You got Jason Sullivan that puts on races in NorCal. You've got Philip Staub. He puts on races in Colorado, which is a great race. So, we got a lot of people on board that are looking to be a part. Keith, Mike, everybody. This is something that it's looking like everybody's on board. It's just fine-tuning it, like Kid said. Sit back, relax, enjoy the next 2 weeks because we have 2 big races coming. Well, 1 big race. Mine's just a big party. So, hey, and you all get to meet Pluto. You know what's cool about this weekend? Everybody gets to meet Pluto.
I'm excited to meet Pluto.
Pluto is something that I have designed, and there's only the people that are on this little broadcast have seen Pluto.
Billy feels like he's an Elon Musk, so he's naming stuff.
I named it Pluto.
he's an Elon Musk.
Hey, I have invented something, and you get to see it on this coming Friday.
It's his baby.
It's my baby. You got everybody?
Yes.
But hold on. Everybody saw
it. He created
right?
it. I engineered it.
Hold on. Everybody. No, Mike saw it. Keith saw it.
I engineered it.
I saw it.
So, what's your thoughts on Pluto?
Pluto's sick.
I love Pluto. I just want to know where the name came from.
Is she a boy or girl?
Listen, I'm not doing this with you two. You guys have a show to do. Keith, I still have another show that I got to continue with, and I still have to pack.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Shoot.
Listen,
I got.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Keith West, Cody. I've got to drop the Dragon Wagon off at the Wrap place in Dallas on my way through to Texas. So I've got to load my trailer up because I'm in the enclosed trailer again this week, and hopefully for the last time. When I get back from Padre, I think the Dragon Wagon is going to be completely. I'll pick it up on the way back through, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be freaking awesome, man.
Hey,
yeah, I'm going to have it at Topeka. Yeah.
All right, we got to park right next to each other.
Absolutely.
Hey, on that note, I picked up my Dragon Wagon today. You guys have not seen my Dragon Wagon, so I'm bringing Pluto and my Dragon Wagon.
Is it a Prius?
It is. Yes.
Come on, man.
You know Billy so well.
It's a diesel-powered Prius.
Keith West, it's always a pleasure hanging with you. You too, Mr. Mike Pratt. But unfortunately, these boys have a iCharger, discharger, and power supply show to do.
Well, I would love to hang out with you longer, but I have really got a lot of stuff to pack up and get in the trailer.
No more cussing on my show.
I said
stuff.
I thought we could cuss after 9 o'clock.
Stuff.
It's only 7, Josh.
I know.
Hey, Keith, I'll see. Okay, so Keith, I'll see you in a couple days. Mike Pratt, feel better. He's not feeling good. Let me continue on with these boys down the journey of the iCharger, discharger. So we're going to continue with RC Tech Talk with Abel Lips, Kid Sims, Josh Jones, and Cody Offenbacher.
I'll be on the road for the next couple of days, so if I don't answer anybody's PMs or messages, I'm driving. So
drive safe.
I'll do my best to answer them when I stop. So thanks for having me.
I got 21 hours.
Right.
Oh my
gosh. It was nice having you on there, Keith.
Keith, we love you.
Not at all.
Talk to you later, man.
Keith, I love your wings.
Later,
See you guys.
Later, buddy.
Later, man.
See you this week.
See you this weekend.
See you, man.
All right, bro.
Bring some track wings.
Bring some what?
Traxxas wings?
Or Trans Slam wings.
Trans Slam wings.
Traxxas wings.
Yeah, you better message him.
Did he say Traxxas wings?
I said Traxxas wings.
All right, so
I'm trying to wrestle with this thing.
So Josh, Cody, Abel, closing thoughts on a point series. Abel.
I'm gonna be like Josh. I think it's awesome.
It's gonna be good. It needs to happen.
No, I think it's pretty cool. Point series sounds like a great idea. I know we have like our small local stuff, but this sounds like I always come into things like I didn't even know about where I heard just you barely talking about wanting to do points like today or yesterday or something, and now it's already some big kind of grand plan. It's not set yet, but it's
Jegs.com is all in. Dude,
well,
Jegs.com is coming in hot.
I'm always kind of late to find things out, but I think it's pretty cool. It sounds like it's going to be some kind of big. Is it just nation?
It's all. You know what? You know as much as we all know. It is something.
I think a cool big point series would be pretty cool.
It'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. I'm going to turn this over to Abe. Kids. Okay. Let me. Yep. Restart.
I'm pretty. Hey, you know what? I'm pretty excited. That Red Bull cooler's full.
Yeah, it's
all right. Me and Cody wiped this puppy out.
Yeah, you guys wiped.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
All right, here's the cool. Everybody that's still on board, YouTube and Facebook, we are now continuing with RC Tech Talk. The guys are talking dischargers, so iCharger, discharger, and power supply.
I'll go through how I set up a profile because I know there's guys on like that message me and I've recorded videos.
Okay.
And anytime like over a minute,
I need to turn your mic. Billy and Abel need to turn your mic up.
Our mics up?
Yeah, I can barely hear y'all.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us any better?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
You may need to turn your speaker up, kid.
Abel, I just want to say nice hat.
No, everybody else fine. I just couldn't hear y'all fine.
I don't even have a tat.
Hey, kid, you're getting old, dude. Your ears, man.
I said nice hat.
Oh, nice hat. Thank you.
Great.
All right.
You want to see my shark tattoo?
Tim Barth.
Yeah, let's see it.
iCharger time. Yep, it's iCharger time. There it is.
So yeah, I was just we'll go over charging, discharging. I'll set up how to set up a profile. I'm sure you could even name it, but I'll show you as much as I know, and we'll do our best. We're just some.
I'm leaving you. I'm going. I'm trying to pack for Texas.
I'm not packed for Texas.
It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm
like
gonna
he
turn
went
this
to
over.
panic mode just then.
He did go to panic. I'm going to be right outside that door. Yeah, see that door? I'm going to be right outside that door.
Poppy Billy?
Yep.
Don't leave me, Poppy Billy.
All right, we just lost
Wait, we
somebody.
lost somebody.
Where'd he go?
We just lost Cody. That's all
Cody,
right.
where'd he go? All right.
Maybe he had to get off.
Okay, you guys, RC Tech Talk Tuesday starts now.
What about me?
Yeah, go.
What do I
I'll
have?
take care of that.
Okay.
Get to talking. There we go.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
so I'm hoping Abel is ready to do a demo for you to show you how this is all done. We're going to talk very brand specific because that's what the most of us have used. The four of us. I'll say Cody. He'll be back in a second. That's what I mean. We're going to be very brand specific because that's what we use. I use an iCharger. I think Josh, you use an iCharger. And we all use the same. I think we all use the same power supply. We may use different.
dischargers,
but I think I use the Lightner.
I've got a Lightner here on. I know you guys don't see it yet. We got a lot of stuff right here, but we're working on getting an iPad behind me overhead. But today, just because I do not have a RL discharger, we will be using a Lightner today for just today's demonstration purposes.
Okay.
I've got an RL power supply. I've got the Junzi iCharger 406 Duo. I know Cody's got the 4010 Duo. So I really won't be able to answer 4010 questions just because I do not own that one. I do know it may charge and discharge a little more than what mine does, and maybe a couple other little features. But like I said, maybe Cody could answer those. But as for me, I don't own it, so I really do not know it.
I would, like I said, so one thing before we get started on charging, so if you're out there, if you're a new guy out there and you're playing with lipos for the first time, there's a lot of safety issues you need to be aware of. If you've got one of these, iChargers and power supplies and all this discharger, you can really do some damage, not only to your batteries but to your house and stuff. So I mean, so there's a lot of things I want to make sure you're clear when you're charging things. You got to do it in a safe manner. If you could do it, in a safe space, that's not in your house, that's the best. When I'm charging my stuff, I'm sitting literally right on top of it. Don't charge and walk away. That is almost the worst thing you can do because if something happens,
it'll happen faster than you can even do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you can burn down your house faster than faster than you can put it out.
Faster than I go to A to B. That's how fast you lose your house.
Yeah. So you can. I want to make sure everybody's clear. When you're storing your batteries, you want to discharge them into a storage voltage. We'll go over that. Either Abel will or I will.
No, totally. And I've got, like I said, we're working on getting this iPad, and you guys will be able to see because you made great points about charging safety. I mean, even what you're charging in, where you should charge. So once we get the camera up, it'll be a better. I have a good demonstration. I've got my Max Amps box set up, and I'm really excited to show you guys it. So once it pops up, we'll be set.
When you get them, like I said, you want to keep your batteries in a storage voltage. You want to, but also that you want to get either in a. I put mine now in an ammo box.
I've got a couple of those too.
Inexpensive battery bags that are that are very good. Do not store them in a hot place. Do not store your batteries in your car. Like I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. Everything is in the car except for my batteries and my iCharger. My iCharger because we're here doing that. But my batteries would not be in the car until until I get the car, go in the car and turn the air conditioner on. I wouldn't put my batteries in that. That's too much of a hot environment for them. So this is for the new guys out there that are not used to having dealing with these lipos. I just want to make sure that it's they're doing it in a safe manner, safe as possible. Because I mean I've seen lipo fires personally at a racetrack. It's not fun. It's because it's an uncontrollable fire.
It's scary.
It's
crazy.
With a fire extinguisher, and a lot of times it won't go out. Okay, so anyway, it looks like Abel is about to be ready. Am I right? You're getting close.
Sir.
I'm seeing a really good video, really good image of an iCharger. It looks very clear.
Can you give me another slice of pizza? My
What's
people
that?
can't see me.
I think so. It's loading right now. I'll be able to
All
see
right.
where you have it.
So Abel, if you're ready,
Alrighty. Do we
this.
have, what do we got? Do we got all of us or just this guy?
You have me and Josh right now. I think Cody had to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Cody. No, Cody was still on. He's good till 7:30, like me.
Okay.
He's just got to put all
might
of
have
us on the
died.
screen. That's what he's. There it is. All right. In a minute, you guys will see it update. Let me know when you guys see all of us on there on the screen.
You're all on there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see.
So, guys,
all
one
of
thing
us
I
but
wanted to
Cody.
show you guys. So, I'm sure you guys can see what's up there. I can show it. I wanted to show right. Oh, right, where we at? Right here. So, guys, this is Max Amp's new box. I know we're kind of zoomed in, but this is their metal box. And this is exactly what they had included and intended for, is for you to charge through this case. Okay. So, as you can see, guys, this is part of my sponsorship. We got our Desert Hobbies logo. We got the my last name on here. You got Max Amps. This is their new case that they will be sending the batteries in, as long as they have the case available and stuff like that. So I've got it in here now with the foam or anything like that. I've got it with the foam right now, but I would say probably just that's to keep it from rattling around. But say if you're in the ammo container or you're in your LiPo bag or whatever, there won't be that foam. But just for a demonstration, I've got these wires going into the, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it's a nice heavy-duty metal box. If you guys have one from Max Amps, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about already.
Billy,
So
I think it looks better having focused on
the iCharger.
We can still talk in the background, but you know.
Okay, yeah. So just kind of take us off or whatever, and just have the demonstration going.
Charger right now.
Is that what you would agree, kid? Just kind of do that.
Yeah, just have the charger on. They don't need to see us.
Okay.
I think that's there. That's perfect.
That'll be switching over here in a second. So yeah. So let's go ahead, and what I'm just gonna jump into. Should I just go ahead and let's create a profile for this battery? So let's go ahead and open it up. And this is just for demonstration purposes. I could set it up fast without looking at anything, but I want to show we've got a 6300 milliamp pack. That's going to be, you got to keep that in mind for when we go to set up the profile. So it is a 6300 milliamp battery, 2S. So we're going to go ahead and go into here. We're going to hit start. I've got my charging leads and balance board all on channel 1. So let's go ahead and I'll demonstrate kind of. One second, guys.
Vicky Paul, he'll cover that about the discharger.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So guys, so right here, we're gonna go ahead and this says channel 1. I know it might be kind of hard. I'll move my finger. It's gonna zoom in, or it's gonna autofocus. You got a channel 1 on the left. You got channel 2 on the right. I've got my charging set up. I know I got wires everywhere, but I got my charging leads, my balance board on channel 1. I've got my discharger plugged in on channel 2. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go hit start on our channel 1. And I've already got, I'm sure you guys could see on the screen. I don't know if it's gonna, let me click on this. I could probably, there we go. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of different profiles already saved in here for different batteries. But we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go to one that's not been messed with yet. We're going to go down to right here. Number 11, it's a nickel metal profile. But when you guys get yours, it'll be all brand new. You'll have like LiPo, nickel metal, nickel, CAD, nickel CAD. Let's just go to this one. We're going to go here. We're going to hit status. All right, now we are actually in the setup of what we're going to be editing it. We're going to be changing things up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go here to charge. Let's see. Let's get out of here real quick. Exit. Actually, right here. We're going to go to, so we're on number 11. I messed up a little bit. We're going to go here to manage. We're going to hit tab. We're going to hit manage. And we're going to add. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to make sure that this.
Hey, guys,
Kid?
if y'all watch, he's going to go through this fairly quick. Just know that, I mean, there's YouTube videos and stuff out there for this, but we wanted to kind of go through and give you a kind of just a quick synopsis.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make this quick and kind of explanatory. There are YouTube videos, like he said. So we're gonna go ahead and add. Okay, now we've got a program. We've got memory 11. We got a setup. Now we're at the setup. It's asking me what type of battery is this. This is a LiPo battery. Okay, cells. How many cells do we got? Like I told you guys in the beginning, this is a 2S 7.4 volt battery. Capacity. This is a 6,300 milliamps. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring this guy over to 6,300. So there we go. So now we're gonna go over to, we're gonna scroll with our little dial. We're gonna move over here to the actual parameters. Let's click on our charging parameters. So Max Amps or any other brand is going to have a certain amp rating of what they recommend. For today's demonstration purposes, we're going to set it up for 10. I know that's going to be a little bit below what Max Amps says what we could do at max. Now, this is not to say that this is what you're limited at. You could show on the video. Right here, past, is it 20? So past 20 amps, it's going to give you, or not actually, 19.5 amps. It's going to start telling you this is dangerous. So anything past that is telling you, guys, know what you're doing. I could go all the way to 40 amps if I really wanted to. That is going to be really, really pushing our battery if we're going to be trying to lower the internal resistance with adding heat and removing it through discharging. But like I said, for demonstration purposes, we're going to set this 10 amps. We don't need to risk anything. We're going to set that 10 amps. Now we're going to set our charging mode, normal balance, all right? Our charging in cell volts, 4.20. So in NPRC, as we all know, we could do 8.44. So with 4.2, that's going to be an 8. Result. Say you want that extra little bit. I could change that to 4.22 and make it an 8.44 end result. Now, if you've got heat, if it's warm outside, you are going to risk being over voltage at tech, and you probably will be eliminated by doing this. So, know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Check with
Be
your meter.
careful.
Yeah, know what you are doing. Know what your system is, where it ends. I could set it to 4.22, and when I go to tech, it'll say it's 8.41. It's not going to always be 100% accurate, and always check with what tech is using. What the iCharger says versus what maybe your meter says versus what the techs are using for a meter will always be different. It is always safe to set up your charging into that. What if you want to put 4.21 to be safe, or keep it at 4.20? Go to check what it is at the tech booth. They typically, every race I've been to, they allow you to see before the real racing starts where you're at. So we're going to keep it at 4.20 today. All right, so now we've set up the actual charging parameters. We're at 10 amps, normal balance, 4.2 cell per cell. So we're going to go back. So we're going to go ahead now and go to storage. Let's go to the storage parameters. What it has stock is 3.85. That's what I keep for storage, 3.85. Kid, is that what you keep yours, or do you keep yours a little lower?
I just started playing with it. At typical races, I do the normal charge, but I just been playing with it, getting ready for today, playing with going up and stuff. So yeah,
awesome. All right, so
I keep mine at 3.85.
I keep that the same too. Now the storage compensation, 0.01%. I keep that all the same. I don't mess with a lot of this stuff. The storage, you really don't have to mess with. It's really the charge and discharge stuff. So next we're going to go ahead and go to the discharge parameters. So we're going to go to the discharge current. So now this is the same thing. We could discharge upwards of 40 amps if we really wanted to. For demonstration purposes, let's go ahead and put this to 10 today. So we're going to get to 10. We're going to hit the little dial. Now, discharge voltage per cell, 3.5. Let's just go ahead and put that up to 3.85 like for storage. We really don't need to go that low for discharging right now. Let's go ahead. Now, right here is where it's important for setting up your banks for discharging. This regenerative mode. It's off when you first set up a mode. We're going to click on it. One click to the right is to input. Next click is to channel. That is where we want it because we're going to be discharging to channel 2 on a separate channel. So we're going to hit OK. Now we're going to go ahead over to the little box that says set. Now we're going to set the parameters in that channel 2. Now we're going to go ahead and go here. We got resistance or bulbs. It's exactly what we got. We've got a resistor bank right here. So voltage limit, I'm going to put this at 24 volts. So this is it flexes between 12 and 24 volts. So we're going to go ahead and put it at max. It's 25. So I just say 24 volts. Yep. I deal with electricity. So now the current limit. This is another thing we got to watch out. So for you saw the discharge, we set 10 amps. So the current limit, we're also going to want to match what we're doing because we got to match that current limit. So we could do 10. If you want to give a little more, we're going to do 10.5 just to make sure we don't go over current. So we're going to put 10.5 for our current limit. Now we're going to go back. Let's go ahead and go back again because now everything in here is set. Discharge current is 10 amps. Discharge voltage 3.85 per cell. End current 50%. Regenerative mode to channel. And then we're going to go, like I said, in that channel, then you go ahead and change it. You're in resistance or bulbs. You're going to change that to 24 volts. And then you're going to put it to 10.5 amp limit. So let's go ahead and hit save. Let's get back out of here. Let's get back out of here. Now, one other thing that we're going to change today is, let's see what the cycle is. Okay, so right now we're on charge discharge. That's going to be perfect because right now my battery currently is discharged. So I'm going to run it through a cycle for you guys. I mean, we don't have to sit here and watch it. But say you're at the track. You could go ahead and your battery's already charged. Say you make a run or whatever, and you wanna, you've got plenty of time before your next round. You could switch this to discharge and then charge, and that is going to cycle your battery before your next race. And cycle amount, let's just say 1 time. We really don't need to cycle it 3 times. Delay time is going to be when you fully discharge your battery to 3.85. It's going to delay it 3 minutes before it starts charging. I don't delay mine. I just immediately. So as soon as it discharged, I go right back to charging it. So I put that to 0 minutes, so there's no delay. So we're going to go ahead and go back.
Guys, you don't have to do this. He's setting up a profile right now. So you're only doing this 1 time.
Yes.
And then now, once you get everything, all your parameters set, then all you do is go in and select that option. And then to select what you're doing, you're charging, you're discharging, you're cycling, or you're in storage. And then the charger knows exactly what you want to do from that point on.
So now that we're all set up, we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now that saved that entire profile. Now you'll see it right here. LiPo 2S 6.3 amp hour, 10 amps. That's going to show you. So you'll see another profile right here. I've got a LiPo 6S 5.2 amp. So that's a 5200 pack, charging at 14 amps, discharging at 10. This shows me I'm a LiPo 2S 6300 amp hour, 10 amp charge, 10 amp discharge. There's no and because it's both 10 amps on both. So now, like Kid said, now we're on our profile. Okay, we're on race day. We're going to hit the dial. Boom. Now we have all these options here. We don't have to, we could go here, go to cycle. We're going to hit cycle. You want to run that program? Yes. So now this is automatically, so it's not all the way plugged in, but let's go here. Run, charge, low cell voltage. I don't know why this is. Okay,
while you're doing that, Jay had a question that says, how many amps can I discharge without a bank? I think a lot of that depends on the charger.
Yes.
My model, I got a 4010, and my 4010 will go up to, I think, 17 on discharge if you're only using 1 channel. And when you use both channels without a bank and you're trying to do 2 batteries at once, it kind of cuts that way down. I only discharge at 15, so I don't use a discharge bank. I just use the charger.
I use, like I said, I use the same as I use the 406. I've always used the discharger, so I'm not sure what the max amperage but it's a more efficient way of discharging if you use a separate discharger. I know it's an added expense, but it's really more efficient on you, and it helps your batteries out. When you discharge them at a higher rate, it helps your batteries out. So I mean, I was using the old Venom Duo Charger 7 amp Duo, and I can't tell you how many batteries I've wasted that it just tore up doing that low voltage and low discharge. You know, they ran the IR when I first got my first iCharger. I went through and checked all those batteries, and uh, you know, typically these max amps, they'll run the IR internal resistance. It ran it, you know, you want to be in the point something. Well, my old batteries were in, you know, like 4 and 5.0. I mean, they were, you know, 10 times higher than they should be, the resistance. And kind of what we're talking about. I mean, I'm not a battery expert. There's guys that know a million times more than I do. But I will say the IR, when you think about this IR and these C ratings, was it kind of explained to me is think of it as a funnel. And the IR, the lower the IR rating is, the bigger hole in the funnel. If you have a big number in your IR, you have a little. So when you're pouring water, you know, it takes longer for that water to come through that funnel. If you have a bigger opening, that water just shoots right through. So, you know, when you have a lower IR number, and that helps you the current, you know, your amps flow through that battery the faster, and makes you go. So
also it helps with your voltage drop when your IR is lower. It's not
right.
only a bigger funnel, but it also I noticed with mine that my voltage stays higher when my IR is lower.
Yeah, it can recover a lot faster.
A lot
Yeah, you'll
faster,
notice
yeah.
it in the logs, definitely. Like I had a pack that I noticed it's been kind of going out, and I kind of tell performance. Luckily, I got my new batteries from Max Amps, and I slapped it in, and the difference was crazy because I was getting down to about, which is not like horrible, but about like 6.5 to 6.3 on.
Oh yeah, but that's low though for
that
us.
is low for Max Amps for us, and so
yeah.
I switched it out, and this weekend over at Coy's, I was only dipping down to about 7.1 or 7.2, and then it would just hang out that 7.7 to 7.9 the entire time through the run.
That's about how mine is. Mine, the lowest I really ever see is 7.2, 7.3.
Yep.
But it, like you said, it likes to hang out around that 7.7 range.
It does
through
that
most of the
entire
run.
Yep.
So Abel, I see that you're charging now, right? Am I
It is
seeing
charging,
that?
yeah.
Okay, if you don't mind, hit over to the IR, and
No
that
problem.
way.
So how you do that is on your charging. So we're charging on channel 1. We're gonna hit status, and so as of right now, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's 1.0 and 0.9. Now
that'll go way down.
This will go way down with this cycle right now.
Yeah, that is not what it will end up being. That's just while it's charging.
Exactly. So yeah, this is just
and this is the
charging.
advantage. This is the advantage to the iChargers and being able to cycle your batteries. Like he said, right now it's at 1.0 and 9. By the time it finishes this cycle, I expect it to be what, Abel? Yours is probably 5 and 6 or
this
5
weekend,
and 5, 4 and 4.
When I put my battery away. So I got 2 batteries. This is the one I still have not used yet, and then I've got one that I used this last weekend. And this pack, it was 0.4 when I discharged it at the end of the race day.
Awesome. Yeah, I even seen mine drop to 3 and 3 this weekend, which blew my mind. I just made like a
really good
small little hit. Yeah, it was 4 and 4.
I was jealous when I saw that.
It was 4 and 4, and then I made like a little short, like just a couple foot hit just to get the car to see if the car stuck what I was trying to throw at it. And then I came back and bumped it up real quick, and it went to 3 and 3. I was like, oh wow! But on average, like 4 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 5, somewhere right in there is where mine generally stay. By the end of the day, it gets a little better. It seems like, the more cycles you do, obviously.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. So let's talk about batteries while we're charging here. How many batteries do you bring to a track?
I bring 4, but I only use 1 all day.
I was gonna say I've got 4, but I typically only use 1.
Yeah, you want to use the same battery all day, in my opinion. Just as long as you got time. Now, I understand there's some races you're going to go to where you're just not going to have time, and you need that second battery. But if you have all the time in the world, the one battery is going to be much more consistent.
Yeah, have one sitting there charged, ready to drop in. I would also too. I mean, just while we're talking about, I would have a set of tires prepped and ready to go. Because who knows?
That's something I don't really do. I don't like changing tires in between runs.
No,
You might find a variance or something like that. You know what I mean?
but you might have a back to back and where you don't have the time.
And that's true. That is also true.
Where you don't have the time. I mean, where you've got 3 minutes. Well, you don't have time to prep your tires and charge your battery. Let's just throw two new tires on it. Now, granted, if they told me I had 3 minutes, I'd be balking about it. I'm like, no. But
well, at the same time, if you only have 3 minutes, do you really have time to? Once that second set is used, do you have time to prep the other set to be the second set? Probably not. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 3 minutes is a little excessive. I know we go to some races where turnaround time's probably 10 minutes, which is fast, but.
I will say this too. Again, we're talking charger stuff. You spend all this money on this fancy charger. You spend all this money on this fancy power supply, the discharger. You got tons of money in your battery. Spend the extra money and buy you decent leads, charging leads.
Yes, please get good 10 gauge charging leads. Don't use 12 gauge. Not when you're trying to discharge at high amps.
It's got to be the most overlooked thing that people do. They use their old leads, the old fin gauge. No, go. You spend all the money. Go spend another $40 or $30.
Good point, kid. Good point.
And totally get yourself. It's going to save you in the long run.
And it doesn't make it that
hard. As Abel's
either,
using 12 gauge. No.
I'm over here using. Actually, I'm using 18 gauge, guys. What are you guys doing? Talking
about God! Look what we're talking about.
I'm just playing. Actually, no. This is actually 12. This is 12 on my charging lead, and I've got 10 on the power lead right here. But I was actually this weekend. I was like, you know what? Why don't I was just thinking. I was like, because this is kind of a small lead in general. I want a longer lead, so that I could say if I'm charging and like we said, we want an ammo box or something, and we want it away from where we are. It would be ideal. I know it's kind of crazy, but say if I had leads. Now, kid, I mean, I'm not like an electrician. Can you get too crazy with how long your lead is? Do you think that'll cause any kind of issues?
But for what we're talking about, the resistance we're talking about, if you're talking 100 feet, you're going to get resistance. If you're talking 50 feet, you're probably going to get. If you're talking 20 feet versus 10 feet, you're not going to see enough to.
Well, what if I get like what if I made my own, someone at home wants to make a 2-foot or a 3-foot lead where they could plug this stuff in and have it way off their, if they want to charge it on the asphalt, like the battery in a box off their table, like if they want to be extra cautious. I mean, I don't think that would be a big deal. Do you, 2 or 3 foot lead? I mean, no. I don't know if I'll
I don't think you'll see any difference.
No, like I said, if you get 500 feet or 100 feet, then you'll see a difference.
Gotcha. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making so this is some 10 gauge wire, and we just got some at the shop, and I'm going to be going over there after probably the show, and I'm going to be making just a little bit longer. This is probably, if I had to guess, your standard 12 to 16 inch power lead. I'm probably going to do a 30, probably like a 36 inch or something, like probably like a 3-footer or something like that.
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2. I got a. I would like a 3, at least a 3.
I mean, a 2-footer. I mean, it would probably be good. Because you see this thing, this power lead right here for. You guys can't really. I could probably hold on. I could unzoom. So there we go. So you'll see the power lead for my the charger itself. This is a big old heavy duty cable, and this is unnecessarily long. It's just all it needs to be is right here, but. It's nice. It's good. This never gets hot. I mean, even these 12 gauge wires, they don't get really hot. But when you're pushing those, if you're going to be risking 30 to 40 amps, you need 10 gauge wire for your charging leads. I mean, that's the same.
Yes, and on your lead for your battery. Yeah, agreed. It keeps the heat down.
Everything on your car, on your charger, on your leads, on your discharger, everything.
ESC too.
Yeah, so my ESC uses so everything is 10 gauge, Motor wires are 10 gauge. Actually, they may be maybe 12 on the motor, but if I'm not mistaken, everything's 10 gauge. The only thing that's not is my cat pack. My cat pack is 12 gauge, I believe. I know that for sure. It's not fully 10. It's not as thick as everything else.
Quickly hit the IR real quick and see what hair it came down to.
Oh, right now we're at 0.9 and 0.8.
0.9 and 0.8, perfect.
And you got to also keep in mind too that for everyone at home, this is we're only doing it at 10 amps. Now, that's not really a ton. Most chargers will do about 10 amps, an average charger. So what I'm going to do now is we know we're at 0.9 and 0.8. I'm going to stop this real quick. I'm going to make a couple changes. I'm going to go ahead and start charging this. I'm going to try to create some heat in this battery. So I'm going to move this to 20 amps, get a little faster charge for demonstration purposes, and let's watch how fast that IR also comes down too. So I'm going to make a couple changes. I don't know if you guys want to make any kind of points or anything. Let's go ahead and go.
I mean, I charge it 30 amps.
Who's calling? All right.
I'm 2020. That's
30
what I do.
and then discharge at 15.
All right, I'm gonna go in between you guys then.
So,
I'll go 25. We're gonna go 25 there. On charging, and we're gonna go.
So Chris, yeah, 2 foot leads or with 10 gauge. That's great. That's where you want to be, man. Chris
guys, and, I mean, don't let me sound silly when I'm saying like let's get 5 foot leads, everybody, and we'll charge from the car or whatever. No, I mean, we could be realistic. I mean, like I know my table gets cumbersome, so say if I did have a little ammo box off the edge of my table and I had the leads going to there. I mean, that wouldn't be the end of the world if I saved some room on my table when I'm out there on the pits, because I've got 2 cars, I've got everything scattered everywhere. I get kind of crazy. Cody saw me when we were pitting together over in what was it? Tulsa. Or no, I mean even the most recent trip we were down there. And then we had no light. We were working in the dark.
Yeah. That was, and I'm pitting out of a suitcase with no tools, no nothing. And somehow I still beat Abel.
You did. You are just so good.
Sounds like a rematch in Texas, don't it?
Well, I did have a rematch. It cost me my car, but now that I rebuilt it and got everything back together, I totally want another rematch. It'd be so cool.
I think so.
So it's locked in for Texas, right? Y'all are both gonna be there.
Are we locking? Are we locking a race in?
Let's check the shutdown before we decide to send our outlaws down it.
All right, I'll agree with that. All right, let's.
I thought we were racing the outlaws in bracket
for Kansas.
We could technically race those, but I'm racing my not really mine. I'm racing the shop's laser nut. Yeah, that thing is gonna be.
Oh, don't make me bring the Rustler.
Ooh.
Well, hey, Abel and I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I gotta go.
Hey man, Josh, thanks. Hey, are you gonna be in Topeka?
Yes, I'll be there.
Awesome, man. We'll see you in Topeka. You have a good time. I'd say safe trips, but you have a safe journey, and we are going to have a safe journey, and we'll see you in Topeka, my friend.
All right, buddy. I'll see you. Good seeing you, Abel. I'm glad you got on live tonight.
Yeah, I'm so happy I got on today. I know you guys have 2 episodes without me.
Y'all don't know that haven't met. This is Abel. He's just joining us
for the first time on my own show with everybody, making my first appearance.
But Abel, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually haven't set a profile up. I manually discharge and stuff.
That's how I do mine.
I'm going to be messaging you. I kind of like the profile.
No, yeah, message me, dude. It's so easy. Once you get rid of your 1990s power supply, we'll get you a new one, and we'll get you a nice discharger. You'll be rocking.
Look, you happen to be there today. You know, you could put it in a box, my name on it.
I probably could.
Yeah.
Don't mean he's going to.
Guys, Chris Hilborn asked, I was told that if you charge at a higher amp, it will lower the internal IR.
Yes,
That's
so
correct.
I'm looking at that right now. So if you guys can see, I'm trying to get it to focus, but it's already at 0.8 and 0.8, and that's why I wanted to do it, is to show you guys, when you guys put some heat into these batteries, when you're dumping this,
that's when they
crazy,
really start dropping.
That's when they, yeah, exactly, that's when they really, those IRs start coming to life. So I'm trying to show this without it being all blurry, but let's see here. All right, right about there should be. So right there, we're at 0.8 and 0.7. I'm pretty sure you guys can kind of see that. So let's go ahead and we'll just kind of let it do its thing. And so right now, our power, we'll kind of go. So this is the info. So this is your tab button. Tabs through your per cell, 417, 417. To be specific, we're at 4178, 4176. Really, really close. This is a brand new battery, so I'm not surprised that they're really close within each other. Next deal is the IR. We're at 0.8 and 0.7. Next tab is just kind of showing it's running its cycle. And right now we are pulling 209 watts. We're showing that we have an in voltage of 4.22. All that good stuff. That's just your info about that stuff. So I'm just going to let this run. So it's almost, look at that. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done charging at 4.21. It's just going to get to 4.22. And you'll start seeing, just like any charger, your amp draw, boom, it's already doing it. Your amp draw is going to start going down as it gets closer to reaching its end. So that's another reason. That's another kind of telltale sign that you know you're about to be done charging. Your amp draw starts going way down. It starts dropping tremendously.
Hey, Chris, you look like, I'm answering Chris Hilborn's comment. He says, I'm using a Motive RC 750 watt power supply with an iCharger 410 Duo. That's a great combination. Good choice on that one, man.
Oh yeah,
that's the same iCharger I have as the 410.
Yeah,
I forgot he wanted to he wanted to be in tune for this episode because he messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, he wanted to know all this stuff." I'm like, honestly, tune in on Tuesday because, like I told everybody else, it's like when I try to record these videos, I try to record this doing it myself. The video gets too long and it doesn't send over Facebook, and I can't send it over email. So I'm glad that we decided to do a charging and discharging episode so that one, it's saved. People can go back and watch it. And people like Chris Hilborn that are watching live, they can get all their questions answered while I'm on the air and set up their charger while I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's see. They need to make wireless type leads. Yeah, it's like those Bluetooth drive shafts for those street trucks.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, fellas, I'm not far from getting off here either. There's a storm coming in now, and I need to make a few test passes on this bracket car.
Oh, fine. All right.
Fine,
Hey,
Cody.
Hey, I'm glad. Hey, so you're bringing the whole family, right?
Yes. The wife and baby will be with me on this long trip. 21 and a half hours, I think, is actually what it is. So it's going to be a long ride with a 3-year-old.
Well,
but my wife and my child, they probably enjoy the island and the scenery while I'm doing the RC stuff. So it'll be good. She needs a vacation just as much as anybody does, as much as, having a little one's tough.
Yeah.
Especially with me on the road every weekend.
Right. Well, hey, you safe travels and
Here,
they
Cody,
say
I'm gonna try to. Let's see.
And safe travels to you too, kid. I know you got a long ride as well.
Yeah, 26 hours. What we looked at.
Shoo, yours is longer than mine.
Yeah, 26 hours. But we're in an RV too, so I mean, we just pull over and fire the generator up and go to bed.
That's true.
All right, so, there we go. I figured out how to bring Cody. Okay, Cody, if you want to wave bye to everybody, that Facebook can see.
I was leaned all up on the laptop. There we go.
If you want to wave bye to everybody, I'm trying to figure out this iPad deal.
We'll see you in Texas, there, Cody. Man.
Bye, Cody.
Yep.
I'm thrilled.
I'll be leaving tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated.
Yep.
We'll see you later, man.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Y'all are doing great.
Yeah, man. See you then. Bye.
Alrighty. We're back to the... So, okay, are we on discharging? Oh, we are discharging. Okay, cool. So, we are approaching 25 amps on our discharge. We are showing that we were at 4.22, but we are now dropping 4.13, 4.12 here in a second. And let's check those IRs. We are at 0.8 and 0.7 on those on the IR. Now, one cool thing I will mention, let's see. Actually, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the lights off real quick. Hold on. Do you guys see the discharger lighting up red? Here we go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Look at that. Look at my cool little setup. All right. So, this discharger right now is putting off some crazy heat. If I had my little heat gun, I mean, I would say this is probably at least 100 to 130 degrees. So, one thing, the higher you push, the more amps you are pushing, the hotter your discharge bank will get. So, important thing, RL power supply, lightener, I think Motive even has one now. Make sure you have a good investment on a good discharger. That is going to be extremely crucial for when you're pushing those crazy amps. One thing you'll notice on this a lightener, if you look at it, it's 500 watt rated. So this is going to do way more than I want, especially at discharging at 25 amps. Because if we go here right now, I'm only pulling 202. I don't know if you guys could see that. I'm only pulling 202 watts technically right now on the discharge. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let's fix this. Oh, I got to manually focus this. So I'm pulling 200 watts on a 500 watt rated discharge. Let's check those IRs. 0.7, 0.6. They just keep dropping. So as we go through this, it's getting better and better already. So we're just gonna let it do its thing.
I wanted to comment real quick on these lighteners too. When you when you first time you use it, and you'll find out that they don't immediately come on when when you go to discharge, and you'll think, oh man, I got a bad one, I got a broken one, or whatever. No, it doesn't come on until it's needed the higher amp. Mine doesn't typically come on until it pulls anything higher than a 10 amp. And
there is a thermistor on it, and if you go to the website, it's 100 or 105 degrees, and the fan and light will stay on the entire time it's above 105 degrees. Some dischargers, as soon as the discharge is done, will immediately shut off the fans, and you'll get what's called heat soak. So the one good thing about this one is that because it has separate little leads that go into the little power supply, it's gonna keep this fan running so that it's gonna keep removing the heat. It's kind of like I know you guys don't race real cars. Most of you guys probably don't race real cars, but like a turbo car or like a diesel, when they're running really hard, they'll let their car, or there's a fan, when they shut it off, that will stay running for a moment of time. Like my buddy's turbo diesel, he's got like kind of a souped up turbo diesel. When he romps it kind of hard and he shuts it off, his auto ignition, if it's his EGT, his exhaust temperature is above a certain temperature, his engine will literally stay running and pumping oil until it's safe to shut off. Same kind of ish technology. This thing's going to run with a fan until it's safe to shut off, which is, like I said, 100, 105 degrees. On the website, it says it.
So yes, I'm going through the comments on Facebook. Unfortunately, I don't have the YouTube. Sorry, guys, pulled up. But Scott Campbell, if you're running off road and oval, and now you're coming over to drag, it's we crazy amps to these things. So we that's the nature of this beast. A year ago we would have never thought that's what we would be, that's what we need to do, but here we are, so it's the nature of the beast nowadays. So just wait for the next crazy thing to come.
What was he saying, Scott? I've ran off road and I've never heard of this.
He ran. He had, mine does 15 amps. I think before I upgraded to max amps, I was running my little 7 amp Venom Duo.
Oh, me too. What I have a little what's the it's the high tech little AC/DC little X2.
Yeah,
It's an X2. It only does
and
like 10
that
up,
was
5 down, or something like that.
until I realized, man, it was just really just tearing my batteries up.
Right. Okay. So that's one thing I was gonna say too. Is one thing I noticed is when I use a cheaper charger, and I would kind of obviously I try to discharge, and when I would cheaply discharge it, my IR never really got healthier. It seemed to kind of
No,
more just so hurt the battery over the time.
in fact, I never looked at the Venom that doesn't where you can't look at IR. I've never seen IRs, but when I got when moved over, it was, I mean, literally all my IRs on all my batteries that I used that Venom were in the 4.0, 4 and 5.0 IR range. They were through the roof, so they were I mean, they're not that they're bad batteries, but for what we're needing, you don't want to use them.
So I don't know if you guys see it. It says it's done. We finished, and we are at a 0.6 resistance. We are at 3.87. I mean, dude, look at that, dead nuts even. 3.875 with a 0.6 resistance. And I know it's hard to see on video, but it is still lit up, and it's still pushing some warm air off this radiator-style discharger. And you'll notice in the video, you could kind of see where my finger's pointing in the video.
Yeah,
You'll notice that light will shut off here soon.
yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that. That was a good cycle right there for that battery. I
So is
thought
there
2.2 was good. Are you Scott? Are you talking 0.2, or what's 2.2? I thought 2.2 was good.
Yeah, because if it's 2.0, that's not good
That's
IR.
not good. 0.2. That's kind of hard to get. I mean, it's achievable.
Is good. That's awesome. In fact,
That's amazing. I mean, I think I might have had it one time. Like you heard Cody, he had a 0.3. I think I might have had one time where I had a 0.2 and 0.3. But yeah, really, I've never really had it like that super low, like 0.2 all the time. 0.4, 0.5. I mean, that's common for a max amp. That's where they love. That's where they stay. 0.3 to 0.5. As long as your battery's staying right around there, you know it's working good. Once you start getting above the 1.0s, the 1.5s, I mean, if you're in the 2s or 3s, if your battery shows an internal resistance of 2 or 3, at that point, I would say it's time to invest in a new battery pack.
Okay, we got an answer from Scott. It was 2.0. So yeah, Scott, that's. I mean, is that horrible? It's not great, but you're not gonna. You'll still work for you. I'll put it that way. But you will notice a difference. Yeah, 2.0 in off-road probably is good. I mean, I'm still running junk batteries in my off-road car, and I'm doing okay. So, but but you got to think about it. We're racing on these drag cars in 2 seconds. You're racing in how many minutes? On the other off-road cars. So you got to be able to dump that power out as fast as you can, and that's what that number is telling you. Is it's not as fast as it could be. It's not it's not horrible, but it could definitely be faster. I mean, by a long way. So. And Scott Johnson says, remember, guys, remember when you hook up the resistor bank to discharge at high amps. You need to set your charger to enable the extra discharge enable. Yep. And we covered that earlier, Scott. So yeah, definitely you want to discharge.
You gotta set up the channel as the regenerative to channel, setting it up to resistance and bulbs, making sure you set up. Yeah, you just gotta. So I mean, yeah, we did go over that earlier, Scott. I don't know if you might have missed it, but we did go over kind of how to set it up and setting up your discharger at the correct parameters.
Chris, he said that discharger works as a great coffee mug warmer.
I use it personally as an omelet maker, the little mini omelet maker at the track.
And what coffee will we have in that coffee? We would have A to B coffee.
We got some we got some A to B coffee keeping us going.
Yep, I've got them in the camper. We've got it all. Got the grinder set up. I've got my little pods where I can use it in my Keurig. So we are all set to be doing some A and B coffee drinking on this trip.
How do you
Definitely.
check firmware info on the iCharger? So, Chris, looks like that got pinned. That is a great question because I
How
don't
did you
think
see that?
that's probably it should be pinned now.
Oh, there. Okay, got it.
You know, I've never checked firmware. I don't even know where I would. I don't even know where I would check to find firmware.
I have a 406 Duo charger. Scott charged it. I'm just making sure. Yeah, Chris, I don't know. We'll have to get back. We'll have to find that answer.
I'll find an answer for you about that, Chris, because I'm not 100% sure about what firmware I've got on mine. I do know that there are USBs and let's see, USB 5. Okay, so one thing I didn't even know. I just looked at this right now. You have a USB output on your iChargers. I didn't know that. USB power, 5 volt, 1 amp, little little USB charger, kind of like our power banks have. They have a little USB, but you will see there is a older than it's not even the micro USB. That's like a standard USB. You could plug that into your computer. You could probably update firmware or stuff like that. And to be honest, I have never plugged my charger into a computer yet, so I would not know what firmware I am running.
And Jay asked, he's got a Sky RC discharger with a 406 Dual iCharger. Would he be able to use the Sky discharger as a resistant bank to use with the Duo?
I don't believe so.
I believe so, but I do not know. Check with your with Sky RC. I'm sure that they would be able to tell you how to do that, and if you can, then how to do it. We both have Lightners. Lightners has, they give you step-by-step instructions on how to set up your iCharger and how to hook it up, and it made it very simple to use. So that's why I went with them, because I like very keep it simple, stupid. I live my life on the KISS method,
Yep.
So, but that's how I went with them. They give you step-by-step instructions on how to set up your charger to do exactly what you want with the discharger. Seventh, Brian Elkins, good friend of mine. Brian, Mr. Hot Bands himself. 17.5 and other spec classes are the reason for low IR due to the limitations on the motor. Low IR is an advantage to get more out of it. Yes,
exactly. This is where the whole thing came from. Like, I had no idea how important it was until some of these guys that have been RCing for a long time started using some old school theories. They just off-road racing, on-road racing. That's been going around forever, more than NPRC has been popular, and that's exactly what he's saying. Is that's exactly where we get it from? Is that because there are motor specs and battery specs, the way that you can tell when someone has good battery technology is when they're passing you on the straightaways because of all that extra internal resistance. Just that low IR just unleashes all of its power. When you've got a battery that's got a lot of resistance, it's not going to want to dump all that power. It's going to kind of it's going to be choked off.
Question Michael Robertson had, what do you think about the smaller i6 charger?
The X6, I did see that. I know a lot of guys still use it, and it's really not. It's not a bad option. I know it's a little more complicated to run a discharge bank and how to set that up. There's you gotta have a T and certain things like that. But other than that, like say you're trying to save some money, I know a couple guys here, like Taylor Spencer. He's a fast guy. He's in Tucson. He uses the X6, and it works just fine for him. He doesn't have the big fancy 406 Duo, and he gets by just fine with it. And he does have a T. I don't know how it works, but yeah, the X6 is just fine. It'll do everything you need it to. It just does make it a little easier.
Here's Kevin James has a real good question, and to be honest with you, I haven't paid attention to, but do you discharge below storage for cycling? I don't believe you do.
That's what I was going through over in the when I was kind of asking you guys too. Is, for me, I've never. I don't see the big thing of what I mean. I know it's only probably 0.20 is a lot in the battery, but I discharged at 3.80, and I think when it comes set, it's 3.65. I just, to me, it kind of takes a little too long to get all the way down to the 3.6 and per cell, and so I keep it at like 3.8. I keep it to about storage, so I'll discharge to storage, and then I'll just recharge it back up to 4.20, 4.2, whatever you guys want per cell.
Caden Phillips just joined the party. Hey, Caden, man, I got your hat hanging on my wall. It's in my wall of honor. I'll treasure that forever.
How does the discharge? Oh, discharger connect to the charger. Okay. Biggie asked. Yeah, Biggie asked that. So guys, make sure. Yep. So as you can see here in the video, I'm just gonna kind of flip it over to make this easy. You've got a big set. You got a red and a black right here. It's in this braided cable connection, and then you got a little set of wires. This little red and black. The little set of wires on the Lightner, little set, goes to your power supply. The braided set, and it says it on here. So right here. So this says discharge, so that goes in your discharge bank. So you set that here. They say that on the discharge. And then these guys on their leads, it says it. It says right here. Power. That goes to your power supply. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But yeah, there's a little lead and there's instructions. It says go to power supply. So you put these in your power supply. Obviously red to red, black to black. Don't cross anything. You make sure in here, red to red, black to black. And that's how you connect it. Nothing crazy, Mr. Biggie. Trying to get caught back up with some questions. Take a look here. So let's see. So far, looks like that was the last question from Biggie. Was asking about how to connect it.
Yep.
Caden, how are you, dude? I'm doing pretty good myself.
So also too, guys, a good safety tip. I see a lot of guys are switching to them, and I recommend them wholeheartedly. Switching to the XT90 connectors. For all you guys that are running DRKs, the DRKs are very susceptible to popping if you reverse polarity. I mean, they don't even. You can. It's almost like you can run the reverse polarity just near the battery, and it pops it. It's that sensitive. I mean, so do yourself a huge favor and put XT90s on everything you have. That way you're never worried about reversing polarity, hooking them up backwards. That way and then just put do yourself a huge favor, man.
Yep.
You'll never hook it up.
Yeah, before Max Amps, I used to run Roar Legal hard case small pack batteries, and I would run the direct 5mm bullets. I've been fortunate to never cross anything like that, but it happens all the time. You're in a rush. You hear your name being called. Abel, you got 2 minutes. Come up to, and you're rushing. You're putting your body on, and you go. All pop. You see all the smoke. Done. You're done. Your race day is done. It is so nice to have plugs, and really, everyone talk. Oh, plugs are resistance. Really, there's no. I mean, as long as you see on my my battery, it is literally from battery to plug, and it is ESC. Plug. That's the only resistance spot is going to be on my plug. It's not like I'm running an adapter. When you start running adapter, and that's another thing for newbies. Say you don't have this crazy cool stuff. Say you're a beginning guy and you go buy a brand new Tractus C10 drag truck and it comes with a Tractus plug. And your new battery you buy comes with an XT90. If you put an XT90 to a Tractus plug adapter and you're going to be doing way more harm than good. It is best to just have
Michael Robertson. We're talking about mostly of us. We're talking about the Lightner. the Lightner discharge. You can actually get that at Desert Hobbies.
Desert
I
Hobbies,
believe,
yes, sir.
you can get everything we're talking about today. You can get the iCharger, you can get the power bank, and the discharger at Desert Hobbies. They're a great combination to go with. You know, so I mean that's it's super easy to use. Um, so we got that. I'm a beginner. I run Deans. There's nothing wrong with Deans. Though the only problem with Deans is the wires they only allow so big of a wire that you're working with, and we like running the heavy 10 gauge wire on our cars. So sometimes the Deans are a little bit harder to do with a 10 gauge wire. Yeah, Chris Hilborn. I learned that the hard way. Yep, I think we all did. I had a DRK. I was literally just testing to see if the wires would reach the battery, and everything worked up. And I ran them across the battery, hit the battery, and popped the ESC. Had to send it back. Never even saw the track.
It sucks so bad, especially if you drive to a big race or something. Like, it's one thing to go to a local race or something. You show up to your local race and do something dumb like that. But say you're traveling across the country or something to do something like it is the worst feeling in the world. And yes, Chris Hilborn, Desert Hobbies does have a bundle for the iCharger, discharge bank, and I believe so the power supply, iCharger, and discharge bank. There's a power supply deal going on.
I think they even give you the stand too, the nifty stand that we have.
Yeah. So I don't know if they saw that in the video. So as you guys saw, my charger was kind of, otherwise it would be sitting like that, or you got to find somewhere. I got a cool little RL Power 3D printed stand, and that just sits right perfectly on the power supply. And your charger sits right there to give it a nice angle so you can look at it. Plus your screen also has a little pivot screen if you really needed more angle of your screen.
Right. What time we getting to be out there?
We are 5:01 at Arizona time, so that's probably what, 8 o'clock your guys' time?
Getting close.
Getting close.
Yep.
Let's see what else.
Luckily, we're able to get the. Yeah. Right. I think a lot of us are having. I've got one, the DRK that I've got to get back this for the recall, or however you want to call it. But I'm going to run it in Texas. I got it on my 13.5 car, and I talked to Colin. He said it should be fine for that, and then I'll send it to get it done. Yep, Todd Kirkwood. Yes, they do. They do have the bundle. So we got any more either battery or charger questions before we get ready to get out of here? Because I still got some packing to do.
Same here. I got a lot of packing to do as well.
So, but I mean, I thank you guys for hanging with us. Have we got any more questions out there? And
yeah, seriously. I mean, the people that are watching. Oh, I don't know how to check YouTube. That's one thing. I don't know how it really does that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm sorry, guys, in YouTube, man. I feel bad.
I mean, if you're on YouTube and you have a dire question while we're on, jump on Facebook. If you throw it on Facebook, if you can,
or you can worst case scenario, man, message me or Abel, and we'll get it answered for you. Okay, hey Chris, I would love to stop in Ohio, but from Key West to South Padre, Ohio is nowhere near that. You just turned my 26-hour drive into about a 46-hour drive. But man, I think that one day we'll get to meet you. Hey, Jerry, thanks. It's gonna be a fun trip. We just hooked the new scooter up we got it on the back bumper. So man, I can't wait. We gotta go. Here we are. We're back.
I brought us back. I learned that.
Yeah.
And I know how to do sounds. I could do sounds too. Let's see. So we did such a great job on describing everything. I think we deserve a. Oh, wait! You can't hear it.
Yeah. I hope everybody got some tips. But the main thing on these batteries is, guys, is be sure you're safe. We all do things with the batteries that we shouldn't, and I'm, and don't come to the race and go, hey, you told me to put them in the bag. I see you're charging them in your car. We all do things we shouldn't be doing in the race situation. But
same with me. Same with me. I like, yeah. I don't know, a monkey see, monkey do situation. However you want to, but when I'm in a rush, I will be charging I do charge it in the vehicle. But say I'm in a home scenario and I'm not in a rush, I could put it into a nice storage container. I could put it off to the side, off my bench. I can monitor what's happening. But yeah, so you will see some guys charging in there. Hey, I thought you were supposed to be charging in your case, or that doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and so let's be real clear. It is very unsafe to do that.
Yes.
Just because that's because you'll see me do it. It is very unsafe to do that. You can ask Daniel Judd. Daniel Judd lost a whole car doing that. He had a car go up on him.
It happens out of nowhere. I mean, even I caught it. I had a battery that I probably should have known not to try to charge and stuff. I was going to try to bring it back to life. It was starting to puff a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Let me try to bring this battery back to life. I started doing a charging. As soon as it went to discharge, I noticed I started smelling something weird, and I stopped it immediately. And this is why it's important to watch your charger. I stopped it immediately. I unplugged everything. I felt the pack, and it was so hot to the touch, and it was expanding in my hand. I put that thing in a metal bucket as fast as I could, and I chucked that thing out front. I kept it away from any bushes, away from any trees. It was in just my rocks in my front yard. I just have, Arizona has gravel for our scenery, so I put it in my gravel, and it got like that big. The case was like this, and it puffed up crazy. Like I almost could have lost my house.
I popped a small max amps battery, and that got my attention real quick.
Yep, it takes one time.
Yep, I say I never, like I said, I've always charged my battery. Excuse me, with me right on top of them. I very rarely charge and walk away. And that's your worst case scenario. You really, no matter how, if you charge it, you got to charge with you standing on top of them.
Yes.
You're waiting for disaster if you don't. You really are.
I agree, kid. I definitely agree. Here is Billy. He's back.
Yo.
I don't hear you. Here you are. Boom.
What's up, homies?
Oh man, Billy. I think we had a pretty good show.
Yeah, not too bad.
We're winding down now.
I saw everybody asking. Don't think I just leave out here and don't watch what you guys are doing. I was watching.
You were monitoring us?
Monitoring the crap out of you two.
Oh man, making sure we're being good little boys.
Trust me, I saw in some questions. I knew he was close.
Oh yeah, Chris Upborn, good thing. You got a bad battery? Salt water will neutralize your battery. Throw that puppy in some salt water for a day or two, and you are totally safe to throw that recycle it. Take it to like Arizona. We've got batteries plus and batteries and bulbs. Places,
the battery guy.
Places where you can take a battery safely and get rid of it. But the first step is throw it in some salt water. When you have a battery you determine is bad, no more safe for commission, salt water.
Hey, can I chime in for 1 second?
No, you may not.
Do me a favor. Before everything gets out of here, I want
there's YouTube.
I want you to go through. There's a lot going on YouTube, and they're yelling at. They're yelling.
I'm sure they are.
They're yelling at you guys, and I was over there yelling at.
How do you switch it to YouTube so I know in the future?
See that little bubble right there?
I do. Yep.
So what? See the little bubble?
Yep.
And you click on YouTube.
Okay.
Just like that.
Because I've been figuring out how to add screens.
I see that.
Yeah,
Look at you.
I'm getting so fancy.
I can retire. Is that what we're saying? I can move on and do Caribbean Billy.
Bigger, better things.
Okay. Perfect.
What is it? The Key West Kid and
The Adventures of Caribbean Billy and the Key West Kid.
There you guys go.
Yep.
Go do your own thing.
What? Do you hear that, kid?
I'm good.
He's good with it.
He's ready.
He's ready.
Everybody, the first thing I always got to say is thanks everybody for hanging with you guys and hanging with us at the beginning of the show.
I love it.
We had a round table about having a point series across U.S. regional. We'll get into that more in the future. But I do want you, before you leave, go through YouTube and give YouTube some love. Just scroll through here. You can even put the comment up here. If you just tap on it, it just goes right up there like that.
What?
Look at that.
Yeah, Josh. Boom.
Yeah.
Heck
Look at that.
Awesome.
And then Kid can see it, and then Kid can go through and say, go back to where you started. Good battery looks okay. So keep going back. So do me a favor.
Okay.
Go through all of this.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be about right.
Even right there, charger and stuff like that.
Yep. If you don't mind, Brad. Okay. Yep. Brad Kalman. He's from the Tank RC, the RC Talk.
Gotcha.
So do that, and then text me when you're done, because I've been long conversations with Todd Soltero,
cool.
which does Friday Night Lights. Todd's excited, so do your thing. I'll be out here watching you two.
All righty. All right.
I have a
okay.
S.
So I will move over to the captain's chair real quick and.
Yeah.
So
you put them up for everybody else, but I can't. I have a little bar shaded under my display, and it goes right over the top of that.
Oh, okay. So we got Brad Kelman. It says, I have an S150 charger in Spectrum. I have another brand that wasn't that expensive, but I don't know if I'm... Oh, okay, right here. If I'm not pleased with it. So I'm not familiar with the S150 charger in Spectrum. I've used a Spectrum charger. I've used their smart charger. But, I mean, as for most people know, the max amps, most batteries don't use the Spectrum smart plug. So I really don't have a use for the Spectrum charger. For my personal preference is the iCharger. It has been, and so far is the best charger for what the racing guys need, whether we're off-road, on-road, drag racers, whatever. iCharger will do it all across the board. So let's go ahead. I'm going to keep going down YouTube, guys. Let's see. This is going to be some good content. Yes, it is at XTAS Fast. Billy, you're going to be sold out of iChargers tomorrow. More than likely, especially with our bundle deal. We've got actually a pretty good deal on that. I'm not even going to lie. We got a pretty good deal on that.
Yeah.
Wish I could afford a battery box. Well, it's included with the Max Amps purchase, man. Brad Kelman, if you purchase Max Amps, they are including them with your purchase. As long as they have it in stock, and, I mean, obviously they get lots of orders. So they do their best to include the new Max box. So, but for the most part, all your new orders will include at least, if you place an order for 2 batteries, more than likely you're going to get 1 Max box and 1 standard box, because they're trying to get everybody to at least have 1 Max box. That's how it was in my case. I got 1 Max box and 1 standard when I ordered 2 batteries. All right, so let's see. So someone says, Just Rob Haskell said, my charger only does 3.99 amps. I mean, when I first started out, I had a charger that only did 5. And as you get better and more competitive, you will notice you will need better equipment. It sucks, but to be at the level playing field that we're at, you will need more expensive equipment. So I would start looking at a charger that probably does a little more than that, because one, as the rounds get closer and you're in those final rounds and you only have a couple minutes to charge, you're going to really, really wish you could charge at 20 amps to charge your battery in a couple minutes, opposed to only having 4 amps and taking half an hour.
I know Just Rob personally, a really good friend of mine, and he is to that level that he needs to stay. If Just Rob's the guy that he's Just Rob's the one that said his charger's only at 3.
Oh, on the X6, that's what he's saying. So only 3.99 amps on the X6. That's weird. I think it does more than that, though. You probably got to set it up right.
Yeah, man. He needs, like you said, Josh. Hey, Rob, man, you need more. You need more than that, in my opinion. But you've been doing RC stuff for a long time. So But I think you'll find that you'll need a higher amp. You're going to find your IRs on your batteries are gone crazy high.
I've ruined my first max amps by not having a good charger with it the first
Yep.
time I had one.
Yep.
Yeah, during the cycle we'll go up and down multiple times. Yeah, so I notice on charging, it may go up a point or two, and I definitely notice it does go down a lot during the discharge, because that's especially for us drag racers and stuff. I mean, even you're pulling on that battery, that's when you really know how good your battery's doing, is on that discharge, how much it's allowing to go out at one time. So let's see. Yeah, you will. Best. I appreciate that from the X-Taz Fast. Best drag racing content right here. Okay, here's a question. Here we go. Hey, quick question for the Megathon. When do we get the product if we won, and when would we get that info? So, if I am correct, you message Desert Hobbies, and if you did win a product, you will have to just give them your name. Obviously, I don't think your name's Visualia RC Drag Racing. Give me your legal first and last name, and all you're responsible for is paying shipping to your area. That's all you got to do. Taz Fast, we are sponsored by Rebel. Yes, we are actually. We are sponsored by Rebel. We love it. Let's see. Cody testing. Thank you, Cody, for your time. Kid, I watched your X-Ray chassis video. I am very impressed by your setup. So am I, Kid. You have a really nice setup on that X-Ray.
Thank you, man. I've been running X-Ray now for a while, and I just really, it's going to take a lot to get me away from my X-Rays.
They've got some nice. It's a nice setup. It looks really good.
Your AEs and your low Cs and stuff. I mean, they're all copying from X-Ray anyway. So, it's like anything. Every time X-Ray comes out with something, and the next year you see it on, Team Associated anyway. But just kidding. But I mean,
the funny thing is, you say that, but everyone was complaining. Oh man, everyone's out of the Associated B6, the gear diffs. Little did they know, I stocked up on the what do you call it? Your diffs, because it fit in my, with a little shimming, it would fit inside my transmission.
Yep.
The gear diff, it would fit inside there, in my Associated.
It's X-Ray stuff though. Y'all don't nobody.
But you don't know that, you didn't hear that. I mean, that's only for those that are still tuned in with us at the last little minutes of the live.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it from us. You didn't hear that X-Ray. Some X-Ray parts will fit in your Associated.
I'll have the new X-Ray Pro chassis with me assembled, not running, but with me assembled. I'll have it with me in Texas and Topeka if anybody wants to come by and take a look at it, or any of my other X-Ray cars. You definitely can come by, and I'll give you an earful and tell you about why you should be running X-Ray.
Well, Kid, we got caught up on all the comments, as far as I can see on YouTube. So, yeah, as far as I can see it, I mean, we're all caught up. I know you got some packing to do. I don't know if there's any questions on Facebook.
Yeah, I was just looking up.
What are some of the best chargers to get?
What's up,
iCharger?
Like I said,
shoot, I forget who. I mean, not everybody uses an iCharger. I mean, there are other chargers.
And we said that in the beginning of the show, and probably people may have missed it, that this show was going to be very product specific.
Yes,
because that's what we use. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with other chargers out there. I mean, I'm sure if you have another charger and you have questions about that other charger, I'm sure there is 100 YouTube videos on how to run that charger. We just wanted to give you some some specific product specific information that might be used in the general sense. I'm sorry, I should be looking at the camera instead of looking at the iPod. I'm just staring.
No, that's why I look at my phone, and then I'll look on the screen that I'm like just not focusing on the main camera in front of me.
Yeah, and my back's getting hurt. I'm getting old. My back's hurting as I'm moving around a lot. But anyway, that's what it is, guys. I know we were saying iCharger. but that's just what we have in front of us, and that's what we're familiar with, and that's what we use on a day-to-day basis. Not saying that your Charger's better or worse or nothing. That's just what we're showing you what we have, and that maybe you can carry on some of our information over to your product that you're using. And if it doesn't jive, man, hit YouTube up, and they'll everybody
of videos
can
on YouTube.
Mechanic.
Scott Campbell, yes, X-Ray is the flagship of RCs. Kid would definitely agree with that.
I would definitely agree with that. I started after I had X-Ray before Christmas of last year. That's when I got into them, or I got using the idea of using it as a drag car, and then I had it sitting there, and then after Vegas, my car was toast going to Vegas and was destroyed even worse after Vegas, so there was no bringing it back. So then when I decided to make the switch, from the very minute this is no BS, guys. I have one of my cars. From the moment I set that car down, I've yet to make a shock adjustment on that car, and there's not many people that can say that. And that car has done 2 ones. And like I said, I've yet to check or touch the shock adjustment on those cars from left to right. I may go up and down on both of them equally, but I don't ever have. That car is so straight. It is. Has been just a perfect car for me because I like. I need something simple, and that car is very simple for me.
Nice. I may have to check one out.
And Abel saw how simple, how perfect that car is firsthand.
I don't know what you're talking about. We'll see that in Texas. We'll see all about all that stuff.
Until hey guys, I want to say he earned his shark in Texas. All right, in Arizona, man, we went racing. We didn't film it.
We were tired.
He earned it legitimately. My car, I came off the line. My car hooked. I didn't put any tire prep on my car. I just said, it's got enough.
It was a new road to both of us. That's one thing, too, that we'll give the crowd is that me and you both have we agreed. Let's have a rematch. We don't have to record it. Let's have a rematch on a virgin road to both of us. And that's exactly what we did.
And it was literally out in front of Billy's house.
It was.
Right in front of Billy's house, about 9 o'clock at night. It was dark. So my car took off and hooked dead left and flipped upside down. Because like I said, I didn't prep it as well as I should have. I was very tired, but I really wanted to give Abel a race. But I'll let Abel tell you what his car did.
I made sure I wanted to get that shark. I could have just stood at the line and let him roll and flip and just I could have cruised. By the time, if you watch the video, I'm not even going to show anybody the video because we do have a video. But that's not for the public. We do, but that's not for the public. Because of how the race went, you treated me, you left on me so bad. You left, you rolled and did all your stuff. By the time I didn't even leave yet. So I could have just coasted and took my win.
Right.
But I was going to give it a race, and I hauled. So he dead hooked and went left. I went out, I got about 30 feet out, and then all of a sudden it went hard left. It went up the curb and straight about 50, 60 miles an hour straight into the corner of a wall. Just took out my entire body. Luckily the chassis was okay, but it took out the you saw a video, I'm sure some of you guys saw my post on Facebook. It hit so hard. It didn't even break the plastic arm. I ripped the plastic arm and pin out of an aluminum bulkhead. The plastic didn't even break. I ripped it out of an aluminum bulkhead.
Yeah, the plastic the plastic didn't break.
Associated Plastics, they worked.
Oh, okay, guys. Anyway, so we'll check to see what that shutdown lane is in Texas. If it's got plenty of shutdown lane, then I'm not going to risk my car for Topeka, because then we'll have a rematch. If not, maybe we can figure out a way to have a rematch in Topeka.
Heck yeah.
Rematch already? We haven't even raced yet. Okay. Kid,
Yes, sir.
how was your show?
I liked it. I like how I think we got a lot of good information out there to the people that need it.
Okay.
I'm happy with it.
Okay.
I will always take critiques. Send me your critiques to Desert Hobbies. Care of Billy.
Plug my phone up more.
Yeah, 4:30 in the morning. He loves when you guys message him super early.
Yeah. Message me early.
Early.
Because I've done something. I've done something that I've never done before. I turned my phone off.
What?
Hey, we need to talk about one race before we go, though. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, give me a second. Let me tell the whole story. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. There's a race coming up. Imagine that.
Did they put it on RC Junkie?
I don't know. Let me ask them.
Well, why did
You
they
know
do
what,
that?
Christina? I'm not gonna announce your race. Did you put it on RC Junkie? Let's ask her. If she didn't, then you know what? She's in trouble. I think she did. Did you put on rcjunkie.com?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
We will shout it out, but also make sure you throw it on RC Junkie. It's got to get approved by Billy.
Yep.
So no funny business, no shenanigans. So as soon as we see it, we put it on that calendar. Like I said, it could be anytime, right? Like I went to the calendar and you could go to 2023.
2020. Yeah. No. Yeah.
You could add it for a next year event if you already know you're doing something October of next 2022. Add it in
2022.
Add it
2022. 23. 24.
4, 5.
Okay, that's okay. She said yes. It's
Yes, but not loaded completely.
Okay, that's okay. So, guys, I told the girls, you guys, when I say the girls, it's Christina, Danzy Peterson, and Mikkel from Salt Lake City, the Concrete Clash.
Oh.
I'm not helping them. I'm helping them promote their race. Sweet. So, this race is the 801 and the 702 in PRC DR.
Showdown or something?
It's a showdown. Saturday, October 23rd, it's the Dawn of the Drags.
Nice.
Registration and test runs 8 o'clock. Drivers meeting in chip draw at 9:45. Racing starts at 10. Fees are $10 for track fee per racer and $50 buy-ins. It's actually going to be at the IKEA. Remember the IKEA?
Is this that night race? I was hearing about some night race.
I don't know. Is it a night? Ask her.
It was
She's
there's
watching
some kind
you.
Of night race in IKEA.
I don't know. Here, ask her. So that's coming up.
Christina?
Is it a night race?
Christina, is it a night race?
I told them I would help them out. They just launched it this morning.
Oh,
Day race. 8 a.m.
Dawn of the RCs.
Dawn. What'd you think?
I said, it's not dusk of the RCs, it's dawn.
Dawn.
8 a.m.
This is our little world we live in. So don't forget, guys, it's Saturday. It's going to be October 23rd. It's in Las Vegas. It's at IKEA, 6500 IKEA Way, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 801 and the 702 in PRC DR. So they have teamed up. And so 801 is going to be Salt Lake City and 702 is going to be Las Vegas. That's the area codes.
Cool.
And again, registration and test runs are at 8 a.m. Drivers meeting in chip draw at 9:45. Racing at 10. Fees $10 per the track and $50 buy-ins.
Oh, that's where I got it.
That should be another good race for the girls.
People were confusing it. That's why I was confused because I heard about this race at IKEA, but people were confused thinking dawn meant night. But dawn, she's like dawn.
What
is
people
morning.
are confused? You're the only one.
I got it from misinformed people that she's talking about.
Kid, he's the only one confused.
He's the only one. I'm not confused. I understood 8 a.m. That's dawn. 8 p.m.
Did you go through everything on YouTube?
That's everything. I mean, that last one is
my YouTube peeps are done.
That's the most Nick Worrell. Sup, guys? Where'd everybody go?
Nick Worrell has been
That's
banned from the show.
One. Oh,
Nick Worrell is banned.
Nick, out of here.
Just kidding, dude. I love Nick. Who did you talk to the IKEA before your event? I don't know, dude.
Who did
talk to the girls? He isn't the only one. Ha ha ha. Did you talk to IKEA for your event? Is the question. We have a question. Yes, kid.
Hey, do you have information on your race that you could share? Or
I've already shut down the race. We're not going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas? Cool. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're done. We're not going to Texas.
You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's break it down. Why not? You know, I get so consumed with other people's stuff, I forget about my own.
Your own race.
Yeah.
South Texas, 13-5, bracket, Rough Raiders Showdown. September what? 3rd, 4th, 5th. Where?
SPI.
People don't know what SPI is.
You expect me to know where SPI? South Padre Island.
South Padre Island.
So you got Texas.
Yep.
Down right there, right
it's
by
as
Mexico.
far south as you can go.
You can throw a pedal to Mexico.
You are going to be the first ever to meet Pluto. Pluto will be in full effect down in Texas. I'm not going to tell you what Pluto is or what Pluto does, but he is right now being built, and Pluto will be in full effect. And don't forget, 9/11 is coming up. You guys remember 9/11? So we will be we'll be showing our respect for 9/11, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I introduce you to Pluto. Don't ask me where I got that name from, kid.
Man, I just really want to know. You know what I named it, but I
want to say it so bad.
When you guys meet Pluto, it's the first and ever to be. This is the first that anybody will ever see.
I've ever seen
a drag race like this, ever.
Will this be at Texas?
Yeah, I'm taking it with us.
Pluto
is being built. It's being built tonight.
It'll be ready for Texas?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, you're
I
telling
just announced
everybody,
it.
yeah. This is news to me. See, I get my news the same time you guys get your news.
Pluto's coming to Texas.
Pluto's coming to Texas. And she's being built today.
Okay, and that's it. Friday. So this Friday. So listen, here's the deal. This Friday, we will be live from South Padre Island. You might as well watch. You can see the ocean, the waves crashing. Maybe even get him on a surfboard. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Friday is just pretty much going to be practice and kids racing all day. I'm doing it as a get-together, get to know each other, because we've got a big car show, motorcycle show. Bands are going to be there. It's going to be wild. Saturday's the 13-5 race. Sunday's the bracket race. So that's it, man, and we are ready to go. I think I have everything ready to rock.
Right on. And we will not forget we're not going to forget our power supply for this guy, okay?
Pluto. Don't forget Pluto.
Can we not forget the power supply?
You can forget the power supply. I know how to buy one now.
No, you know how to jam a plug into it.
Bro, I went to up to Prescott this weekend, and I forgot the power supply for my switcher board. So I had to go buy one from Best Buy, and the guy at Best Buy ruined my $600 board.
Oh.
Yeah.
Billy's life.
My life.
Yeah.
Okay. Kid.
Yes,
Another
sir.
RC Tech Talk Tuesday, another one in the books. So when we will be doing another one on the road too. Are you going to Topeka?
Yes.
Are you going home and then back?
No, sir. I am going when I leave Texas, South Padre Island.
Oh, okay.
To Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm staying up there with some family in Dallas-Fort Worth. And
okay.
So I said something about going to Traxxas.
Yeah.
If you end up at Traxxas, you need to call me, because that's 30 minutes from where I'll be at.
Yes, of course. Well, we can drive together.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we can drive up together.
Yeah.
Everybody's asking me about the iCharger. Yes, I do have an iCharger package deal right now.
Oh, yeah, we announced that. Hopefully that you have one still.
I do. I've got some iChargers left. DesertHobbies.com. Put in iCharger in the search engine, and you'll find the package deal.
Yep.
And I'm running out, though, man. Good night. Later, RC Corvette.
I announced it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Another great show. A lot of controversy with the points race, but I think it'll be just fine, kid.
Fine.
It's going to be awesome, actually.
Well, get us everybody that was in the discussion, get us all in the same room, and we flesh this out, and bring some other people in.
Yes.
And, I think we could turn this into something not only big, but I really think we could turn this into something great for the sport, and then turn these guys that are really our superstars of the sport into actual superstars, man. Get them the recognition that they need.
Yep.
So I think it's great.
Okay, that's it. In a nutshell.
Awesome.
I do believe that we had yet another good show. It's been 3 hours. I still got to pack for we leave tomorrow. Hey, and don't forget, do not forget, Luke Claxton will be joining me on my journey. Luke Claxton will be, I pick him up from the airport in the morning. He will be joining me on the journey to SPI. He will be filming the whole thing. So if you think 1320 videos had something, just wait for 855 videos.
Jesus. It's going to be an adventure with
It's
Muffin,
gonna be
if you're watching.
Muffin Top. It's going to be a hell of an adventure, guys. All right, dude. I'm just looking at all the comments. Kid, thanks for the tire recommendation, and Billy for bringing them to me.
Guys, if you're not seeing the bundle deal, we will work on finding it.
No, it's there. It's
there?
sold out, but I don't
Oh.
think it is. I think David's hiding it. Here, type in iCharger right there.
Yeah.
No space.
Oh. I'm just going to make sure that
That's
everyone
right.
can find it. Come on, stop.
Hey Billy, are you bringing the store to Texas and Topeka?
Yes.
So there you go, guys. You might be able to pick it up there.
View all results. It's a package deal right there.
There it is.
Sold out.
Sold out.
I'm not sold out though. Hey, hold on. Where'd he go? Todd Kirkwood. I don't think I'm sold out, man. I think I have him over there. Let me pop over there and look really quick, and I'll DM you because my guy here. David hides stuff over there.
He does. He does.
My guy hides shit, and I don't know why.
Well, he's got to say for the special guys.
You walk in there. Hey, do you have a DRK 160? No. I go like this. I open up the cabinets in the back room, and there's like 4 of them. I go, what are these? He goes, well, I'm holding them. For who? Just in case.
Just in case.
So I bet you there's DRK 160s in my cabinet.
Yeah.
Kid can't wait to get the royalty chassis from Todd Kirkwood. Cool. Donna the Drags 2021. Join the group for details. Yep. Kid, thanks. Yep. Okay. Kid, I got to go, man. I'll see you in a couple days, dude. And it's going to be a good time, dude. Down in Pot. If anything, it'll be one hell of a party.
Amen.
Right?
It's going to be a biker rally that an RC car drag race broke out in.
David Matthews watching. Don't tell everybody. I do believe we have, as it stands right now, we have 12 entries.
For what?
Nice.
For
Texas?
Well, you're going, right? Oh, that's 13 and kids. So we have 14 entries for Texas.
Oh, my God.
So one of you guys are going to win.
Yes!
All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you for everything that everybody does in our lives, because if it wasn't for you, we couldn't do this.
Amen.
Keep on trucking, everybody. Kid Sims, be safe, and we'll see you guys real soon.
So if you see this beard in Texas or Topeka, come by and shake my hand, say hi, and hug my neck, and let me get to know you.
You talking to me?
I don't.
Later, kid.
Later.
Bye, guys.